We're just gonna see how this shit goes. Usually I'm all right. All right. Let's see. Let's make sure. I haven't used YouTube enough to where I feel like fully comfortable with it. But all right, I think we live. We live, baby. We live, baby, with no drop frames, baby. Right now, baby. I just jinxed us. I just jinxed myself. But all right, let's see. All right, for let's see if the intro works. I've been trying to mess around and do this intro for a minute. Before I start, let's tweet. Let me tweet.
Wait, what intros are we doing here?
Oh no, I mean like our intro video type shit.
Gotcha.
Let me see. I gotta figure out how to do this because I got like this on this screen. I got that on that screen. I wonder if you can like look at like comments through your phone because I have not like done YouTube enough to where like I set up like the stream chat and everything on my OBS. So like niggas gonna be talking in chat and I'm like, yo, I don't know what to say.
Wait, where's it streaming on YouTube?
Yep, it's on YouTube. It is on YouTube. I gotta tweet it out. Let me tweet it out.
I need to position my camera better.
You good?
My biggest issue is just a shadow that keeps fucking me up. Go from dark to light.
All right, let me go to the YouTube. Let me just copy the link. Oh, there we go. All right, I just tweeted it, so y'all can go to my page and it's there. Let me send this link to Sensei.
Yeah, because he was definitely asking about the link just now.
Yeah, I just texted him. I just texted to him. All right, I don't know how we doing intros. Like I'm not fucking not fucking what's they called anime lady. They be having intros.
Anime lately, bro.
Welcome to the Black Anime Podcast.
That shit's actually working. Okay, the intro's working.
Like I love Naruto. I grew up on Naruto, so like it'll be clear for me. It's like I just always compared anime to Naruto.
You are now tuned into the Black Anime Podcast.
Not the same.
Bro, that nigga was strong. He just got caught up by
Emma is Naruto.
Not the same, bro. Not even close.
I'm afraid they could have been killed.
You are now tuned in to the Black Anime Podcast.
This is the end of the road. Afro Samurai.
Okay, next I'm gonna try to make that smoother next time. All right, but right now it is not smooth at all. But we gonna be all right. What's good? Welcome everybody to the Black Anime Podcast, where we talk about anime, manga, webtoons, comics, culture, all that shit and more. And today we got a Shonen style episode for you. I don't even know I'm doing an intro. Evan should be doing the intro. But we got a Shonen style episode talking about Attack on Titan that I've been patiently waiting for. Okay, Attack on Titan is different. I brought these people on because I wanted to talk manga. I want to talk manga. And I don't really read it, but I love being spoiled. I like being spoiled. Niggas don't like it. I love being spoiled. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that to come through. But before we get started, let's introduce ourselves real quick. You know who it is. I'm Eren, aka the Lost Homie, aka the Anime Anthology. I've seen every anime that you've ever thought of, and I'm gonna see more after that. Let's go, Ev. You go up next, my man.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Evan, aka Mr. HBCU Anime. What's going on?
Who next? Let's go, Spicy. Oh, Rome. I saw you green out. Let's go.
Oh, all right. So what's going on with me, Master D, aka Pandemic D. I'm not gonna do the full intro, but welcome, Master D from Mercy Podcast, repping the family.
You already know. All right, Spicy. What's good?
Yeah, it's your girl, the Spice Lady herself. Follow me. It's my Slate Talks podcast. You already know.
All right. So today, I already said we talking about Attack on Titan. This is the title insists and all that. This is I think
Let's get
our
it.
like our third live stream pod. I'm still not used to it. I'm still not used to live streaming a pod. I don't know how anime
Yeah,
lately
this
and
is
Project Manga does it.
probably like the second for me.
Yeah, this
I've only ever done this on Sensei's Gloves Off.
yeah,
But, the board.
but Gloves Off is different. You know, what I mean, Gloves Off, they be trying to kick my ass.
Yo, Gloves Off is only for the wolves, man. If you're a sheep, you can't be going on Gloves Off. You gotta be ready to defend your takes, defend any take coming at you, and stand on your hill.
Swear.
How long
That's
Gloves Off be taking? Gloves Off gotta be taken. See, for me, I think I was only on once. We was talking about like best fights in anime. Like, and honestly, that's not a conversation for me. That's not a conversation for me because I don't really watch Shonen. So like when they was talking about that, I was like, this fight was impactful for me. But I don't know for like the genre, I can't really speak on that. But now if you talk about some slice of life, that's different. That's different.
It's been a slice of life. I love it.
Talk about some slice of life. That's different. I'm in there. What's good, Kedrick? We got Kedrick James. Hope I'm saying your name right. From the Chaotic Culture Podcast. What's good?
Hey, shout out to them.
Shout out. Thank you for watching.
Shout out.
But yeah, so my goals for the day are to one, talk about the latest season of Attack on Titan. That's the first thing. Two, talk about how trash Gabi is because Gabi's a garbage can. And then three, kind of just freestyle. But the last thing we doing is talking manga. That's the last thing. I think I'll probably like mark it on when I do the pod for the weekend or whatever like that. But I'll probably mark it for them. But Kedrick, I hope I said it right. I think I said Kedrick. Kedrick. I feel like I said it right. But the last thing we'll do is talk manga spoilers because I know we all gotta talk about the ending. We gotta talk about the ending because it's
Attack on Titan is the greatest love story ever.
No, it's not a love story.
Let's go.
I hated that part. I hated that part so much. I hated it.
Also, I kind of want to discuss a little bit, like, because I saw Sensei post it, and he says the greatest short anime ever, and I still don't really consider it a short anime, but that's me. Short E, not long E.
What's short to you then?
Like 24 episodes.
24 is short. Like most.
We're talking about manga. We're talking about manga or anime.
Anime. We're talking about anime.
Okay.
Like the standard for like anime nowadays that's been coming out.
It's short is like 24. Like honestly, if we talk,
Because they want
I say the longest
more
for short
seasons.
would be like Death Note. Death Note had what, like 50?
but that's short.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's short. That's probably the longest
but-
I would go for short.
Yeah.
But see, what Attack on Titan does is though they do a release it by season, so technically it's kind of like a short because they're not fully going all the way out, like continuous, like most.
Akudama
Yeah.
Drive is a short anime, one season.
Oh yeah.
What else? That oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. It's one of the best anime to come out in the past 4 years. The oh my gosh, the space one from last summer. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting.
Oh,
Astro Lost in Space.
Yeah.
One season. That's a short anime.
Astro Lost in Space. One season was greatness. I loved it.
Amazing.
They wrapped the story perfectly at the end.
And I usually hate when they age you up for the last episode, but I was okay with it. Like, even though personally I was like, damn, like I kind of want to see them, but like there was no reason for us to watch them grow up, so like I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But 100 episodes that's not short for me. That's still because not to gatekeep. Actually, not trying to gatekeep. I'm saying that it's the idea
What
that
you're going to.
yes, but it's going to 100 episodes is going to stop. Well, I'm not going to. What I mean to say is like 100 episodes. That'll make somebody think twice about watching it versus like 50, right? Like if a show got 50 episodes, I'm like, all right, that's pretty short. I can finish that. And for the slow people, you know what I mean? Because I'll finish that in 2 days. For the slow people, like, I'll finish that in like a week and a half. 100 episodes?
Yeah.
That's at least a month for some people, but maybe more. Some people break that up. Some people will break that up for a few months because some people don't want to watch something in one sitting. You might watch like 3 episodes a week. You know what I'm saying?
It all depends on time, I guess.
Episode 7. Yeah, when you get to halfway through Astro Lost in Space, and like I was watching it week to week, and I was like, and I didn't know it was 12 episodes. I swear we're gonna have a second season. But once you get to episode 11, you'll be like, okay, they wrapped this up real nice. Like they wrap it up so nice. Like it's like, okay, I understand. But there's so much going on. You get halfway through the season, you're like, yo, I don't understand how everything's gonna wrap up. Like there's gotta be like two seasons of content at least.
they definitely piqued my interest the entire way watching because I was confused. I didn't know what was going on, but they were like giving little tidbits and details, like egging me on like the end of every episode. Like, okay, so something's gonna happen. I know they're gonna reveal it soon enough. Okay, maybe next episode. Then episode 11 came and they just gave all the drop information. Like, oh, and then all the pieces started fitting together perfectly. And I'm just like, yep, this is great.
It's so good. Oh my!
I love series like that. That's how Dorohedoro is. Like they just throw you into chaos and then they feed you like little tidbits, and I'm like, yes, more.
Dorohedoro is so fire. It's so fire.
Oh please,
My man Kaiman.
Kaiman, best boy. I love him, and I love Nikaido. Nikaido's my girl. I love him.
I really enjoyed the CGI animation for that one. I was bro. It was so In each episode, it got progressively like better. Like once they got to like the fair, that like fair scene was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, Mappa, like they did that.
But, Mappa did that?
Yeah, Mappa did. Yes,
Mappa has done. I think it's crazy they did that, but then they did listeners like I feel like I don't know if maybe it was the same team that worked on listeners. Wait. I'm not gonna talk about the story.
Come on.
I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about the story because we already had the conversation. I did not. I'm gonna admit I did not understand it to the depth that you did, and I admit that, and I agree with that. So that's why I was not able to enjoy the story as much because I did not understand the depth of it.
Yeah, man, I'm a rockhead, so all those songs that they were playing, I was like, oh, I know this song. Oh, wait, I know this. So that whole Pink Floyd scene was just like, oh.
The one you used to stream, Eren?
You said what?
Was that the anime you used to stream on Twitch? You used to watch on Twitch?
I don't know. I used to do a lot of illegal things. Okay, let's not talk about it. I was illegally streaming. I was illegally streaming fucking anime on Twitch in the early days. I was watching seasonal. It was like seasonal Saturdays or something like that, and I would just go on and I would watch seasonal anime for like a good 2 hours on Twitch, and then somebody was like, yeah, like it's only because you're a small creator, right? Like if you was like bigger, like you would have got caught for that. And I was like,
they would have flagged you.
They would have flagged you because I wasn't even doing the whole transparent small screen stuff. Nah. I was doing regular screen, wide open.
You used to show it all.
Copyright and everything. You could see the tag for the illegal anime in the corner and all that.
He did not care. He said, "Y'all gonna have to find me." I'm chilling.
That's why he's a lost homie, right?
That's why I'm lost homie, man. That's why I'm the lost homie. Only thing I used to do is I would every time I was switching between episodes, I would go to my face or I would switch off to black just so you didn't see like the. You go like the porn stuff or like the anime game shit. I'll be like, you know what? They gonna catch me. They gonna catch me for that before they catch me for this. All right, they gonna catch me. They gonna see a small nip slip. They gonna be like, oh, see this is why we don't allow Negroes on the platform.
I mean,
and that was the hardest part for when I used to watch anime legally too. All those porn ads and pop-ups were so freaking annoying.
Same with manga. I'll be at work trying to read,
Bro, at work, I don't even.
And bro, like someone come up and someone be over my shoulder like, "Are you reading titles?" I'm like, "Yo, can you chill? Don't do that. Don't look over my shoulder."
There are singles in my area right now.
What kills me, my coworkers, they all have this idea that anime and manga is still porn. So whenever they see me reading a manga, like, oh, is that porn you reading? What are you reading over there? One time I actually showed them this random ass porn manga that I found. I just searched on the site, and I was like, this is not it. This is totally different from what I'm reading. Just
show them Redo of Healer. Okay, I heard that manga was amazing. I heard it's the best manga to come out in the past 10 years.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
No.
What? Yeah.
Who's saying this? Who's saying this?
Don't get canceled, Eren. Stop.
What do you think? Redo of Healer? That's the reason why last season was so good. It was that anime.
I haven't even gotten past episode 4.
I'll be honest. I haven't watched any of it yet because I'm just turned off from the entire premise. To me, it feels like it's a fever dream of like the mangaka that he's that's what I really feel like it is. Like that's what he wants to do to some people.
Oh yeah.
And he instead of doing it, this man just started drawing. That's how I feel like he did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because some of the way that these characters are portrayed. Oh, he doesn't? Oh,
no, he don't show his face. And like I said before, the whole marketing for the anime was so like grimy. Like, no, it was not portrayed as like this anime is portrayed like, oh, it's a wholesome anime with likable, cute characters, and even the synopsis was like, oh, this seems nice. No, that's not what that was.
But isn't that most anime though and manga? They try to throw you off from like show little cutesy scenes.
Well,
or
no,
reality.
no, not with it's an anime like this, like Goblin Slayer, and other like animes that have like that hard type thing. They make it known, like, oh, this net won't be all viewers. That was not promoted in this at all. Not even it was like MA, and you see any ratings on it at all. It was just like, oh, new anime coming out, cutesy characters. I'm like, this,
Plus,
and it's on a.
Plus,
Let me ask you this. So did you? I was gonna ask. Did you expect? Would you expect what you were gonna expect in Attack on Titan then when you first saw the first episode? When you saw the trailers and all the stuff for it?
For Attack on Titan?
Do you think it was gonna go that turn?
Well, okay, so I think there's a difference between like sexual violence and then dealing with like so Goblin Slayer, even though they didn't necessarily preview what happened in the first episode, it wasn't a driving factor for the main character.
Yeah,
like it was just like it was accurately, the show was accurately marketed because it really was about a dude who just wanted to slay goblins. Like what happened to the girl in the first episode necessarily has nothing to do with his character development, more so with hers. And even then, it's not something that is revisited multiple times
every time,
like in the show.
With every new character that comes into play is getting the same treatment that every character that joins the group does. Like that's my issue with it.
And then Attack on Titan, when they marketed it, was there were Titans in the marketing, but they just didn't show you the sequence in which they showed up. So like when you got down to it, you were like, okay, I know there's Titans, but when are they going to show up? And then the first episode, you was like, oh, this is the first episode. The first episode, you don't do this? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Like Decadence. Decadence,
yeah.
episode 2 versus episode 1. Like, they didn't market it as episode 2 necessarily, but again, it's a different type of content. So, like, it's okay. Like, if you have that kind of content where you're, like, depicting gruesome sexual violence, one, you shouldn't have it in general. That's just me. Personally, you shouldn't have it in general.
Yeah, definitely have a trigger warning for it.
But if you're going to have it, at least market it as such so people know what they're getting from the beginning.
No, 100%.
I shouldn't have to read the manga to know that I'm gonna watch a man slap his dick across a girl's face. I shouldn't watch manga.
I just want to know what he told these producers when he pitches manga to them. Like, so I have this manga here. It's not that bad. It's got a bit of graphic violence, but it's pretty good. It's a revenge story. That's the only way I can picture him, but I just want to know what he said to them.
I heard even the creators effed up in the head too. I've seen certain tweets that he's tweeted about, the series and this and that, and then everyone's just like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
and they tried to get his series translated into English, and then publishers were like, hell no, we're not doing that.
Not in America. Not in
America.
Not
Nobody doing that.
What?
America.
That thing good. It would not get anywhere in America.
If it was black people, you never know. I mean, they made them, so they can do anything, right?
Wait, who made black people?
You haven't seen the this kind of off track, but you haven't seen the reviews for them, the movie, the TV show by Lena Waithe.
Wait. I just saw like one episode the other night, and what the fuck?
Oh, that's like the copycat.
That's the X.
Yeah,
that is the
when they move into
the horrible
that
copycat.
We can get into that whole thing. How everyone's stealing
Jordan Peele's ideas.
Jordan Peele's ideas, and again, this is like the new like black trauma type shit. And it's we have like an original idea.
But the thing is, the difference between like Get Out and like them, and I was talking to you about this with my mom or something like that, is Get Out was still very creative in its messaging, and it still wasn't necessarily focused on hurting black people. Right, it was trying to show a very exquisite way of a certain theme of a type of people doing things to black people. Right, that's what it was. Like it wasn't like we didn't see anybody get raped. We didn't see anybody necessarily get beat. We didn't see anybody get black person get murdered. We didn't see any of that. because that wasn't what it was about. While them
Even
does
in
all that.
Us.
I was about to say,
Even-
Us is like a freaking horror movie.
Us is just a
No,
horror
it-
movie
it-
that he just
it
plays
was-
jokes in.
But it talked about like it talked about social economic stuff as well as like black. It didn't talk about it talked about everything. Like it has so many metaphors and little details that you'd have to like catch. That's why I love watching that movie over again because it's
Yeah,
so
Us is so fun.
much. It's so much. Even the song I got 5 on it, and like the duality of that, and like the mom and then the youngest son, and like the theories between that. Like I love that shit. And like I remember in the movie theater, someone was like, "I didn't get it." I was like, "What is wrong with y'all? Y'all didn't get. What did you get about the movie? Use your brains, please. Just use your brains. It's not that hard to not get."
Yeah, it's not hard to not get at all. It's pretty self-explanatory.
It's so much to where it's like for you not to get one detail, the billion things he put in here. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that song Across America. Yeah, that was definitely the
Yes.
caveat. That caveat at the end when they were holding their hands, I'm like, wow, just came. The circle came up the whole full circle, literally full circle.
Yes.
And the thing, but it still wasn't about like black pain, which is like, which made
It wasn't.
But I did like how Jordan Peele had the white family die first. I do like how Jordan Peele does
as they should.
I love how he
in
does
real life. I mean,
and he had After Police playing in the background. I was like, yo,
as they should.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly.
He knew what he was doing.
All right, but let's we almost 30 minutes. Let's talk about Attack on Titan. All right, so first of all, what is y'all assessments of this season so far? Well, so far it's over. What is y'all assessments of this season? What y'all got? I'll go last.
Okay.
I'll go last.
The anime?
Yeah, the anime.
Well, the anime was cool. Like, it started off really good. It kept being really good. We got like a little delay. Then we got 2 more episodes that were really good. And then we got to the final episode, which, I mean, it was a good episode, but it wasn't a good finale. I feel like in a finale, you got to end it off with answers or like closure in something. You can't just have no closure in anything that happened, but, leave off it with a cliffhanger. But that was my only thing I didn't like about it.
So, actually, talking about that, what if they ended on 73 and not 74? Or 74, not 75? Like, what if they ended with the Soul Survivor one? Like, what we learned about the history of Zeke or something like that, and then ended with that episode.
That would have been way better than ending it off of freaking Peck trying to do it down, or the little invasion shit that they did, and then Eren sees Reiner and then it's over. Like, nigga, what? You can't just do that. You can't do that. Like, we didn't get any answers to nothing else. We just get a freaking invasion and Eren turns into a Titan and then boom. See you next season. See you next year. You know what I'm saying?
That is a cliffhanger, though. That is a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger, man. That's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger, but there's no closure to anything. Like,
it's not meant to. It's meant to drive you to. It's meant to drive you to go either read the rest or wait a year.
I understand that. Yeah. But in terms of doing, I understand why it's done, but in terms of doing, and if we're talking about just doing an anime, like even with all the other seasons of Attack on Titan, we get closure. Like with season 2, we see Zeke in the background and stuff like that. Like season 3, part 2, we see Armin becomes a Titan. Like we're not left to think what happened to Armin or Erwin, who they choose. That's like if they did that. What if they did in season 3, part 2? They just left off with, we have to figure out if Erwin or Armin was the one that got saved, and then it was over.
I will say this: a lot of shit goes down after this, so they had to stop there. They had to, because after that, y'all would have saw a lot of stuff going down to where y'all would have been mad. Y'all would have been mad. Y'all would have been mad.
That's true.
Yeah, y'all would have been mad.
That's very true.
The way they ended it was
there.
literally like a good way. It was a good way to like start the next level, start the next phase of what's gonna happen. Because literally that was the beginning of everything that's about to go shit.
Yes.
It's all about to go to shit right now.
But
that was a perfect way for them to end it, honestly.
Even with that, then I would agree with Eren saying they should have did it the episode prior. That should have been the last one.
But I think they kind of wanted you to feel like not the intensity, but like that, like what's gonna happen. Not that like everyone's here now. Everyone's here. Like what's about to happen, and they're like a lot.
All the main pieces are on the board now.
Yeah.
Now it's about chess.
Yes.
Yeah. That's facts.
Yeah. Because I feel like what they have to do with the final season, it's all gonna be gas,
Yes.
no breaks
Nah,
at
no
all.
cap.
A
Because the
roller
shit that
coaster.
goes,
Oh my gosh.
what? No,
I
oh man,
I can't wait till we get further into this podcast so we can talk about what I'm can't wait for, because I can't wait for Hans.
oh
Hanji. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad for Hanji in the fact that like
Time.
she didn't.
Shorty is a gangster.
She-
Oh
she-
my
But
god.
she didn't.
Yeah,
But
she
she.
is.
But
She
she
holding
didn't.
it down.
But she didn't ask for any of that. Hanji never wanted to be in charge. She
Shorty
like
is
that
No,
doing- she like
Eren
doing-
put her in charge.
No.
She didn't want that
Yes,
shit.
I'm
But
saying,
she
she
rose
wanted
to
it.
the occasion though. Like you saw her
Shorty is
struggling,
a
but she was
gangster. Oh
doing
my
it, and I
God.
love that.
yeah,
Bruh.
she was literally just trying to find answers and find out all the pieces why it made sense. But
Yeah.
she endured all that pain, still continued to lead all these people while still trying to work on her side, trying to make sense of everything. Hans
Yeah.
is the realist.
Because
Bruh.
she's a she's part of like the research development team. Like she care about science and shit. She
Mhm.
don't care about leadership.
she's
She
not a
don't do
commander.
that.
She ain't give a rat's ass about none of that.
She did not
She did
care.
not care.
So
So when
But,
so when he
bro.
put her in charge, she Hans in the beginning was really just like, yo, why did you do this to me, Erwin? I feel like she's like, why?
Yeah, she
Because
was
she's like,
sick.
that's because
She's
I.
like,
But
bro,
the thing
what
is,
the fuck?
it was either her or Levi. And if
yeah,
it was
Levi-
Levi, and she, out of them two,
Yeah.
it has to be Hans.
And it was
Because Levi don't give a
but
fuck.
everything shut down.
yeah,
You
Levi.
go across
Yeah.
No,
Levi, he-
that lets you know how Erwin knew all of his subordinates. He knew Levi was the fighter, that he could not have no leadership role like that because he won't be able to
Yeah.
do what he needs to do as an Ackerman. So he needed someone outside of that, and it was Hans. Sorry, you're smart enough.
Yeah.
You have the
Yeah.
credentials to do that. You know these
Okay.
kids well enough. So sorry, we about to go
Yeah.
out here and die.
And I definitely feel like it played well towards the whole series as a whole, as Hans taking the leadership of the survey corps. Because now they're going into trying to find the answers and trying to figure out what's going on outside the walls. And she's the perfect brain, the type of mind that you need
Yes.
to seek those answers and try to ask those questions that no one wants to be asked. And she
That's
did
a
that.
fact.
Yo,
I
Hans,
mean,
man,
her
full respect for her, man,
characterization from
Man,
when she
Hans,
came in was just
bruh.
different though. So like,
She's a weirdo.
When I see
Yeah, and
She was a
she's
weirdo.
and like I think, like as you're saying, like she was. I think one of the best parts is like how different, and I think one of the best part of AOT is how there's a very stark contrast between the characters that are the most important to the series. Like the rest of them blends in. Jean and all them. I do like
They
them.
look alike in the manga too. They all
They
look alike in the
do.
manga.
I do like them,
I
but
give you my picture here. Okay, so he's got the
Rainer and what's his name look just alike. I'd be like, that's not Rainer. Wait, no, this is his name. They
when
look
he got that
alike.
little gold cheek, I'm like, finally, this
Yeah.
but like they do like I do like them, but end of the day, like y'all know Sasha was important but not important. Like I think Sasha rose to prominence through the anime less than the manga. Because like I think she was more loved through that than it was the manga. But like anime wise, it was obvious that we were only supposed to care about like Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Hanj, and then like Levi and like Erwin. Like that was, I feel like that's like everyone else was just kind of like, you there, bro.
Up in the air, like
you gonna die, but it's
I
what do you
know.
bring to the table?
You know, but that's
You just gotta keep Eren safe. That's it.
Well, though. That's what he did so well. He used the characters, like using the side characters so well to like uplift and make all the other characters more important.
Yeah.
And like these are the main characters, and these are supporting characters that would make them who they are and develop their character as a whole throughout the entire series. And that's
Because
what
you need lovable characters in the world like this to have that reality, have that like sense of wanting to fight, like say tactic, fight with the fight, and it's like, what are you fighting for? Your friends, family, people, you know. So I do like that. I mean, this was it did end up being the power of friendship.
At the end of it all,
yeah.
It was a great way to use it, though.
Yeah,
I cannot say they did it well.
It's still a shonen. It's still a shonen. So
It is.
I still did not like this one part in the end, but
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I'm gonna let it go.
All right. Ashanti, Spicy, what did you think of this season?
Oh, I love this season. This was my favorite. When I was getting caught up, this is my favorite like leading of events because it went by so like quickly. You got fed information. You still had a little bit of mystery left, but you also had Eren like pop up. Like I really did love this season. Like I really did because you just showed a lot of the characters grow up, you know, and themselves and the positions. and you saw them have to make tough decisions with the people they grew up with, and I feel like that's hard to do, you know, in a situation like this. But in the day, that's where your ideals have to be strong, and I love to see that challenge and see like what choice are you going to make in this situation. What would you do in the situation? That's what I love what Isayama does. He makes you be part of these characters' decision where you're like, what would you do if you had all of these, you know, like pressures on you, you know, in this time? What decision would you make? Would you make a better one? Would you make a worse one? Like, what would you do? So that's why I really loved like this whole season, because it was really, and I loved Eren's like, "What's up, fam? Just want to talk," you know. Y'all slaves.
I want to talk about that moment. We gonna get to that. We'll get to that.
My favorite. When I read the part, I was like, "This man, Eren's a G."
I'm saying, look at this man.
Slaves to the white man.
Slave.
Eren pulling up with the
Marley
with
man.
the damn blood hand is like freaking Snoop.
He said, "I'm gonna relax. I'm just gonna relax right now."
He said, "Y'all, I know that decision y'all thought y'all was gonna make, I eliminated for you." Just like he did in the end. He's like, "Look, I eliminated all those decisions for you. This is the only one you gotta make."
Literally made it simple. Like, let you know that I will understand. I know what you're going through, and I will help you guide you into the path of salvation. And he did that.
No cap.
He did that shit.
Well, it's
Eren
so funny now.
Eren was the actual slave. Armin was right. That's one of the comments we just got. We can talk about it in a second. I want to talk about that moment. We're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back. Ron, what you think of the season? Ron, what you think of the season?
I'm be honest. I watched parts and bits and pieces of season 4 because I read the manga. I only watch the anime for like certain scenes just so I can get the gravitas of like what they're trying to convey in the manga.
That's fair.
So I didn't watch the entire season as a whole, but I watched the parts that are most important. So in the beginning, it was good. I enjoyed the whole development of like now we're going to a different phase of like this is what the outside world is. Now this is what the people are living like. This is how they're portrayed, and I got that different shift of like portrait of like the different point of view and how like the paradise was seen as like they're not just people, these are actual slaves, and these are people seen as less than anything. And I love that shift of point of view, like from like what they're seeing as we're salvations, we're gonna save the world, we're gonna change everything. Now we're seeing them, no, you guys are shit, you guys ain't nothing, and you were literally trying to get rid of you, but you don't know that, but you're just living in this hope. They're living in a literal bubble in the world, and they don't even know it. So that's what I liked about the shift. And season 4 is gonna definitely those worlds collide, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be just those two worlds collide, bro.
Oh, for me, I honestly I loved the end of the season. I think it was definitely the best season Attack on Titan so far. I think it did a good job of kind of marrying the slower pace from season 3 with the faster pace of like season 1. Like it felt like we got a lot of really good developmental periods and then a lot of really good action periods, and then so like it never felt like anything was going too slow or too fast. But like it honestly, I have to rewatch the whole thing again because it feels like I'm missing things, like because it took so long for the season to come out. It feels like I'm missing things. I got to go back and rewatch those first 3 seasons. But overall, like I think what I love about it is I think the symbolism, the themes, and how Isayama just does a really good job of. And this is how I've always felt about, especially Shonen anime. Like, I think all anime does. I think all mediums and general do it, but he takes real life things and purports them and puts them into this imaginary world that mirrors the same things that would happen in ours, right? So like, and I was talking to what's his name? Oh my gosh, the guy from Weird Enough Entertainment. I can't remember his name right now. I love that dude.
Yeah.
I love him. He be in my DMs and we'd be chatting
Weaver?
about.
Jordan
Yeah,
Weaver?
no, that's a Weaver. No.
Brian something.
Oh
Weaver?
my gosh, let me just bring
His
him
last
up.
name is
Tony
Weaver.
Weaver. Tony Weaver. I love that dude. I love that dude. He be in my DMs.
He's so wholesome.
He be in our DMs, like bringing up some shit. We should be chatting for like a good few minutes. But he's like, why you hating on Gabi? Gabi's like the best character, right? And I mean, he's honestly right, because people forget like the point of a character is to make you feel something. Like the point of making a character is to make you feel something. and Gabby made everyone feel something, whether it was hate, whether it was understanding, whether it was whatever it was, they made you feel something, and that's why like I think this season did a really good job of like really just making you feel the what both sides are feeling. Like you hate Gabby, but at the same time, I mean, Gabby, she cool, but Gabby doesn't know any better as a child that grew up in this. And honestly, that's something that's touched on by Zeke. That's something that's touched on by Eren and even Hans. They understand. Like that's why they're like, we don't want to kill the Marlians because it's like they're not. They us. They us. The other side.
Those are people.
If y'all grew up there with those feelings and those things, y'all would feel the same way. And I think, and there's a few lines that I think Gabby says that like really like I guess that touched me like in a way because not because I feel that way, but because it's like it's real. Like there's a point where Gabby's like, I'm not eating with those devils, right? And she's trying to eat, and I'm like, that's Candace Owens trying to eat with regular black people. Like she. That's Candace Owens. She like
yo, the
fried chicken leg.
I can't put
like
the chicken leg, the fried chicken.
That's why I love what's his name. I keep forgetting that boy name.
Falco.
Because Falco understands the bigger picture, and he has that means he has a really kind heart. So anything that happens, he's like, look, we can't do that right now, Gabby. And Gabby's like, and he's like, calm down. It's not that serious. So I do like Falco. I hate that he's in love with this girl, but I mean,
I'm not gonna lie though.
It makes sense.
Falco has a little dilemma though, because I feel like Falco does most of that. Like I feel like Falco is so understanding because he low key feels like he's responsible for all this shit. Because of sending the letters to everybody, and all that.
Well,
I feel like he's genuine. He is genuine to a certain extent, but I also feel like in the back of my mind that he just does this because, like, yo, I kind of fucked up.
He's trying to find restitution.
I listened to the whole shit, so it's like
it's that and Rainer's push to make him want to be the chosen candidate to like save Gabby type shit. So it's like all those wrapped up in one to like why he's driving so hard where he's like, let's analyze this first, Gabby, before you just
I think even before go ahead, bro. I'll say that.
I was just gonna say I definitely enjoyed Falco's character growth during this fourth season because he was definitely the type of character that you wanted to be like, okay, damn, shit's not what it is, and I'm trying to finalize and understand like, okay, but Gabby was just so headstrong and so adamant about like, no, fuck these devils. But he was trying to change her the whole way, still watching out for her, still holding it down. He could be best boy in my picture because he was definitely doing what he had to do. I just wish that they didn't. Too. At a young age, bro. But it just showed the gravitas, like how the impact of the brainwash that they put on these kids to make him believe these things. And then when he finally realized that this is not true, now his whole world imploded. Now he's trying to realize that maybe these people aren't as bad. Maybe they're just like us, and they really are. Literally the same people, just on different sides of the same coin.
And
I love that about Falco.
And I feel like Falco, even from when we first introduced to him, he was never fully into this fight. Like he never had the same vigor as even honestly the two other side characters that die almost immediately. Like he never had like the same vigor. Like even them, like when he was like, maybe they feel a certain way too, and they all looked at him like, yo, they the devil. And he's like, yo, I'm just trying to understand. Cause I don't even get why we're here. I think it's because
Falco was ready to check, bro. That first episode, that nigga was ready to do.
He was like, I'm done.
And even his brother kind of gets pushed in the back a lot. Like even his brother's kind of like, for him to be like, what? Which one did he have? I forgot. But his character, how your little brother overshine you, bro? Like your little brother overshined you, like. Especially in that end chat, bro.
I just don't think he really wanted it, yo. He didn't really want it, yo. That's my take in it. He didn't really want it. That's why he's letting his brother take all the shine. He's like, all right, go for it. You can do it.
He's like, I don't know.
I mean, who would?
Because
who really wanted?
I think that like Falco, he sees like how even if you're a chosen Marlian or whatever it's called, you're still treated like dirt. And he's like, and he's like, that's wrong. But then he does care about Gabby. He does care about the other Eldians that are in there. And he's like, man, I'm not. He said, if anybody's gonna take the hit, I'm gonna take the hit. I'm not gonna let them do it because I see the other side. I see that they're just fighting for their lives just like we are. And I mean, but it is like while Gabby, and I think it's also because Gabby exists. If Gabby didn't exist, I don't think he would think that way. Because Gabby is so extreme, because she's like, I want to kill every single one. I want to kill them all. I want to kill them all. Kill them all. And Falco's like, why? Why do you want to kill all of them? Like, I'm confused. Like, what have they done? Like when they're having that conversation with that girl in the town, and and Gabby's like, oh well, thousands upon thousands of years ago, you're a parent, and she's like,
my parents are from here.
My mom grew up here. My mom was she didn't do
and then she got all shook and shit when Shorty tried to kill her ass. Now
but like, that's parallel. It's like my parents are wrong for something that they did, and I'm wrong for something that people who I've never met, never even heard of for the most part, because most of the Eldians don't even know why they're in Paradise because they don't tell them. So
they erase all their memories.
Oh yeah,
They took them over there. They erased all their memories of any of the tie-ins, all of that, all of them being shifters, like so they don't know.
They don't know. So they literally don't know.
But that was like knowledge to Marley. So it's like for them to say like that's not an excuse. I was like, my God, okay.
But I mean, didn't they like skew the whole like history of how they even started?
Oh yeah, that's why Zeke was getting woke at home by his grandparents. He was getting full of the lies.
His grandparents were like, yeah, and then they did all this and this. I'm just like, you know what that is? That looked like an American history textbook to me. But you know, that's what I'm saying at the time.
Grisha was like, we was K's. We was K.
But that nigga Grisha
you are a prince. You are a prince. You supposed to save us. Zeke is like, I'm for that. Like, what are you doing?
You are a son of Egypt. You are a king.
You can't run in a real life.
You running the damn 4.9 and niggas out here running 4.2.
How are we supposed to get out the hood like that, Zeke? How are we supposed to get out the hood?
You ain't got no scholarship. You ain't getting no scholarship. Running like that.
Going nowhere. Yo,
this how you run when I'm not around?
No wonder Zeke did what he did, yo. No wonder he did what he did because his parents was pushing him way too hard, yo. He was like, I can't do this, Dad.
And that's always the case with the oldest and the youngest. Isn't that right? That's always the case. Parents always put like the most on the oldest, and then here come Eren, like, hey man, let it happen. Yeah. He's like,
but it's like he the first kid. They don't know how to take things. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is just one.
He was 3. He's a baby.
They said there's like, you know, he was their dad. He was like, man, you know, I fucked up on him. So you know, I'm just gonna get another wife. It's cool. I'm out.
Oh, he had 2.
Yo,
I'm
that's
cool.
Grisha had a lot of wives. He had Zeke's mom. He had Eren's mom. Then he married Mikasa's mom. This man had 3 wives.
Wait, did he marry Mikasa's mom?
He married Mikasa's mom.
Yeah, he married Mikasa's mom.
I don't even know how I missed that part.
Yeah, because they're step siblings. That's why they get time because they're step siblings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because their parents died.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on.
Wait.
Am I tripping? Because I thought that was the case. I thought there was. That's
because I didn't think they were step siblings. I thought they were like she was adopted or something like that.
Yeah, I thought she was adopted. Yeah, she was adopted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mikasa's mom were definitely like they both died, but she was like adopted.
They adopted her into
because they had pulled up to their crib. And then that's when they peeped that they was dead. And then Mikasa had got kidnapped.
You're right, my bad.
Eren went
I
to
thought.
go get her.
See, this is a great segue into the conversation about Eren calling them niggas slaves. And I was that man was trying to shake the table. That man said, "I'm shaking the table." He said, "I'm free." And when he said that, I was like, my face was like, "Are you free?" Because the thing is, he says, "There's a piece of Bertolt in you, Armin, and that's why you love Annie and you keep going to see Annie, right?" But I mean, if that's the truth, man, you've eaten like you had the Founding Titan, and then you have the other Titan from Marley. You have that in you too. You have her in you too. So how do you know you're not being influenced?
Well, no. That's the thing. Armin said that he was like, oh, you're being controlled, Eren. He was like, I'm free. He's like, you the one being controlled because you go and see Annie, and you have these dreams, our Bertolt dream, like he was just trying to like play like the fence. When in the end, Eren breaks down and says like, yeah, this shit got me effed up in the head. Like all these past Titans and all their memories. There's no end point. There's no past, future,
it's all in one.
everything's jumbled up together. So he wasn't being controlled, but he said this was the only path I had to go on. Because everyone's like, "Oh, Eren's tripping. He being controlled." Aaron's like, "No,
Well,
I'm not being controlled."
I don't think Aaron's tripping though. I don't think.
Nah, Eren was just following his path that he knew was the only way to the end goal of saving his friends.
Yeah.
No, and at the time, his friends thought that was the case because they're like, "This doesn't make sense. Eren wouldn't do this." So they're like, "Oh, he's being controlled."
But that's because I feel like also it's like the idea.
He's a great actor.
He is a great actor, but it's also the idea that they're not putting themselves in his shoes. Like but honestly, it's because, and honestly, the anti-military revolutionaries have the right idea for the most part, is because they're it's like, I'm gonna use a lot of allegories to racism, because that's exactly what it is. It's people who are trying to abide themselves by necessarily whiteness, right? We talk about like protests and everything like that, right? And people and they say, what is a peaceful protest? Is just a parade, right? Like that's not even like a protest where nothing happens. It's just a parade, right? Like why are we centering
action being done?
Yeah, no action being done. Why are we centering ourselves on what the oppressors are telling us how we should do things, right? And so they're mad at Eren because Eren is causing a commotion and he's doing this and he's fighting people and he's killing children and but it's like, if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't take charge, then all the people in the world except for one nation is going to team up and literally fuck y'all up and kill everybody. And they're like, "Oh no, we can't have that. We got to try to be amicable." That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
No.
Yeah, he was the martyr they needed, and he definitely showed out. He's like, "I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm put y'all on my back."
No cap,
literally,
he carried.
He carried them, bro.
He carried.
And that's why I love how, like, when this gets anime, it's gonna make so much sense because they do like a flashback, and it makes so much sense. How it's like that was the part where Eren was like, "I gotta do this. Like I can't."
You know what it was for me? Because as I was doing my recap today, watching like the old videos of like the past seasons. At the end of season 3, when he was standing in that water, and there's the one line he says like, "No, end of season 3."
Season 3
Now,
part
what
2.
is it?
Season
End
3
of
part 2.
Yeah, he was like, "This is it."
This what he said was, "I gotta kill all these people over here, just so." And I was like, and as I'm rushing, I said, like, this nigga knew.
Bro.
He had the plan from there.
Yes.
And
If
I'm
y'all
like,
peep at the end, like the end credits, bro, the last like pictures that they show in the end credits, bro, it's panel for panel, like in I want to say like the second or third to last chapter of that boy that he met, that he apologized to, and he didn't know why he was apologizing to him. He's just like, I'm sorry. It's that same exact boy. He's in there, and then it's the seashell that when him and Armin are talking, and I think either he throws it to Armin or Armin throws it to him. He's like, "Thank you for doing all that for us." It's right there, literally right there in the end credits.
I love that flashback. That's one of my favorite flashbacks because you just see like Aaron was like, "I'm out." He was like, "That's the last straw for me." He was
That's all, folks.
He's like, "Y'all gonna die, and I'm sorry, but I can't do this shit." I was like,
So is Eren right for coming at them like that, being like, y'all slaves and shit like that? Or did he have the right idea?
well, yeah, because he felt like he had to be that dropping force because the government was bullshit. They weren't agreeing on anything. Eren had like 2-3 years left. He's like, y'all niggas are you're not gonna like play with my life where I could be making change right now. Like, you're not about to do that. And that's why at that ceremony he was like, this is it.
And also, like, nobody else besides Eren understood what the power of the Attack Titan and what it does.
I was just about to say that.
Like, he was talking about memories and stuff, but they don't get it. And he's getting everybody's memories.
The Attack Titan.
He's getting future. He's getting past. He's getting everything.
And we saw that with his dads, where the one guy was like, "Yo, who's Mikasa?" Or who's doing? He was like, "Maybe that's from another."
That same scene, yeah.
You gotta
and it was at the end too.
Armin.
And that end.
Who the hell is Mikasa and Armin?
But at the end of this chapter, you see him again. He was like, "Eren, you're free." He said that. Like that was him in like a little small bubble. I think. I was like, "Oh, is that?" I was like, yo, this.
Say that again.
Yeah,
Say it again.
the freedom of the Attack Titan, yo.
Say that last part you said.
And that even goes.
He came back.
In the memory, Eren was like talking to Armin. I think he had that guy. Him like he came back and was like, said,
"Oh, that's hard."
Yeah, the owl. He was like, Eren, you're free, or Eren, whatever. So like you saw that in the end with a lot of. And he sees.
That's hard.
Yeah.
It even goes, and even what drives it crazy is like at the end of that same, what was it when you see Grisha getting the spinal fluid and he's talking about like I chose you because you want to be free, and that's the whole essence of what the Attack Time is finding freedom for the people. And Eren did that. He's found a path to freedom for all Eldians, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real nigga shit.
But that shit was hard, bro.
I love that scene. Hey, I love that scene where I don't want to spoil it when him and Zeke go on a little journey together, and he's like, "Look, Dad, you get your shit together."
Yo, it's the pep talk he gave us.
Bro, Eren was like, "You better do this shit. You better do this shit. You better do this shit. Don't you think about turning back now? It's what you trained me for. It's what you trained me for, right?" I was like, "Yo,
that shit was hilarious." He said, "You don't get up right now and kill these niggas."
Zeke was like, "Who is this kid?"
For real. He was like,
"Eren
is that nigga." He's that nigga.
But Zeke even said, he was like, "Boy, you look just like your daddy." He was like, "You look just like your father."
Yo.
I don't know if y'all ever seen that gif of like Draymond Green talking to Kevin Durant, and he's like, and everybody's like,
"Oh yeah,
bro." That was like Eren. He's like, "Nigga, you better get your ass up and kill these niggas right now."
Yo, that scene blew my mind so much. Cause I was like, Eren's literally been the orchestrator all along. All along.
Yeah,
I'm like
everything.
And it took me a while to catch that. Like somebody had to explain that to me. Like, yo, the nigga, he did all of that. The attack, all that. Freaking Bertolt not dying, his mom.
Yes, and then the mom. Wasn't that the mom going to? He was like, and even that, he's like, I was like, Eren, no.
I'm like, you fucked up. Yo, that's fucked up.
This man knew what he was doing all along. I'm like, how?
I hated Titans, nigga. Wow.
Wow. He had to, that was.
But it kind of makes
an ultimate martyr, bro. He sacrificed his whole life from the get go.
Whole life.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we got two comments. It said, "This is why I said Eren wasn't truly free until death. I know Spicy Lady hated this ending, but Eren was a slave to love himself, or rather, the founder was a slave to love, and Eren suffered because of that."
They were all slave to love, really. Because you can even see that.
Who said that?
Ymir was definitely a slave, because that's what.
Short, Kedrick. I think it's Kedrick.
So technically,
Kedrick.
I wouldn't say.
Yeah, love was literally like the driving force for Attack on Titan, in the sense like this is what they use to like push forward. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this first because I love this person. I don't want to see them get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what Ymir was like. I'm not gonna do it because I love this man so much. Even though he's doing all these cruel things, she was so blinded by the love for him. She allowed it all to happen. And all these thousands of years later, she was trying to find someone who loved someone just the same way to finally end the cycle. And Mikasa.
But it's like Mikasa has a reason. You know what I mean? Bro, the dude took Ymir's tongue out. Like, Ymir has no reason to love this man. What?
No reason at all.
That's my only question.
At all, bro. But I think she was, because she was like in that slave mentality. That's why I think it's like
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, that's it. Stockholm syndrome. She definitely had that feel like, and that's what made her stick with him throughout the entire time and helped him do all those dirty deeds. And it's like, damn, man, love is a powerful thing.
Ooh, that shit was crazy.
With Eren and Mikasa, though, I thought it was like I did not see them romantically at all. So when Eren broke down and said that shit, I was like, Eren, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? You're toxic. You're toxic. You're so toxic. Why would you? You could have went on a G. You could have went on a G. You could have been like, yeah, man, I regret. Yes, I was frustrated. I get all of that, but for
He like.
Are you serious?
He was like, yo, they was drunk. Even they had some Hennessy. You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
He was like, yo, Mikasa, what you look at me like? Like, you look at me like a brother, or you look at me like, you know what I mean?
I think it's because that relationship was kind of like so. Okay, so when we talk about it, like especially when Eren comes down and says, "You protected me not because you love me, but because you saw me as your king. You saw me as because of your bloodline, That's why you protected me. You have never made a decision by yourself because you were doing it because of your bloodline, not because of that. And I mean, honestly, that argument extends to Levi too, because Levi wanted to kill Eren a lot of times, but Levi knew he couldn't, and he just and he kept stopping himself. Even though if he wanted to, Levi would have killed that little nigga in season 2. Halfway
even
through
in the forest.
Yeah.
In the forest, we saw. In the forest, we saw Levi have that moment. He's like, Eren. Everybody take care. Like he had that moment. He was like, can't kill him, but it's like, why is everyone always worried about this nigga all the damn time? Like, you know, like he always had that. I was like, I like that, but Levi also had like his friends driving him. That's what I like. He had multiple friends who died that he was fighting for. Mikasa had the one in front of him. He was fighting for people who were still like dead. Who were dead. That's what I liked about Levi, because he was still like, that was on his heart. Like that kept him fighting.
You don't know how many friends I killed
when that dropped. And he did this
salute at the end. That was some real nigga shit. You don't know how many friends I killed.
Real fucking shit.
You don't know.
That nigga made all on his last leg. His last leg.
Legit.
This man said it's finally over. Society.
No, society.
Like, yo, you see Hans, or you see the niggas from the OVA, you see the girl that Annie fucked up from the first season, you see everybody. I was like, oh my fucking goodness, this is crazy.
I'm glad they did it that way, or like they made it seem like they were still with them in a part of a way without us having them like disappear like into nothing. Because they were all connected by that path.
They like, I like that because like the Titans does connect all of them. Now that it's all gone, now they can finally go. Like I feel that was very
makes sense. Especially with knowing like what the founding Titan can do and how they can change a lot of shit. It's very like they can easily make it so like, okay, like their spirits are still here, so y'all can see them one last time. They're still gonna be dead, but you know what I'm saying?
Because the Titans it's part of nature. It's like we see that with Ymir. Like it's a natural thing. So for that to be like a spiritual path on top of that, I'm like, yo, that was really cute.
That whole, I'm not gonna lie, that whole explanation of what the actual how the Titan became to be, that being that centipede. I'm like
why it had to be a centipede?
And it makes sense with, like the spine. Like, you know, like she goes in the spine and like it's part make them shift up. Like it makes sense.
She stumbled across some random big ass tree that got
that was random.
For real, random ass tree out of nowhere. And it just happened to be in there and it's attached to her, and then now it's like, oh,
this magic ass tree. Like what? I would have went with the whole deal with the devil shit. That would have been
I would have been okay with that. If they played that into a storyline, turn that into a whole like, oh, she made a deal with the devil, and now we're starting to understand like what the devil, and then if they even went to God, really,
like
fucking everyone.
I like the notch also because they already called them devils, and even throughout Attack of Time, like, oh, they're devils, they're monsters. So for her to be like, no, this is just like, this is natural. This is part of the earth.
Being just came
like so as you and me, regular as you and me. Like I think that made a more like realistic approach to why the ending was so like conclusive, where it's like we're all humans, we're all the human race.
Except for the people that were infected by this bug that attached to spinal fluid and made them all turn into a man-eating monster. Aside from that,
that was very King's Game, freaking Future Diary.
Oh no, this man said King's Game. That's the first thing you think of, King's Game. That's not good.
Remind me of some random virus that nobody knows about just comes up the cut, and now we got this. Like
comes out. No.
But I mean, if you think about it naturally, you're talking about even like us in this pandemic. It's a good segue. In a way, is like that kind of came from nature. It came out of nowhere, and it's killed millions of people. And I mean, that's not the first time. That was the Black Plague. That was not that they came out of nowhere, but like it was sudden and it was devastating. And I mean, technically, that was all natural.
That wasn't no natural. It was a big ass tree with an ocean, and she fell into the damn ocean and got a damn spine on her back.
Is that okay? She fell in the ocean and got infected by something.
It was like a rabbit hole, right? She fell into like a rabbit hole and then went down to a big tree.
Alice in Wonderland allegory. That man's doing illusions, allegories. That man doing everything.
A whole nother world. That's what it was. If they made this whole thing a dream sequence this entire time, like it was almost like a whole nother world, I would have been okay with that too because like I still understand how the whole
this man wanted her to wake up in the end like, oh, that's one of the possible futures.
Not even wake up, but just like realize that that's a crazy world that could have happened if she continued on the path that she did, serving King Fritz or whatever.
That's low key facts. It could have been Ymir just thinking like of a different path, and then
she couldn't.
Ymir,
she was brainwashed. She couldn't think.
She couldn't think about anything but just for him.
Yeah,
that's why she went back to him at the end of the day. Though I'm just like,
that's why she was happy that Mika did what she did because she's like, wow, someone did it.
I wish I did that.
Yeah, like someone did it. Thank you.
I got shot with a damn arrow.
Finally cut the cord of love.
Eaten, but I wish I did that.
Eaten,
right? My own kids ate me.
Own kids. Own kids.
That shit was crazy. She said, hurry up, eat. I'm like, nigga, you're weird, okay?
My man's wanted the power.
Hurry up.
My man's wanted the power. How was she supposed to get
when she died, he was like, get up. Die and kill you. I'm like, what? Really?
Wow.
He said, die ain't hurt you. So I'm like, yo, what?
The whole time she can't even say nothing, bro. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, she can't say nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody after her out talking about who did it. They pointed at Ymir. Ymir can't talk.
Exactly. She can't even see.
They out of there. So fucking shit.
Wanted the power. You wanted the power.
Yeah, man.
All right, so anime wise, I gotta talk about like okay, since y'all read the manga, so y'all know how it ends. But right here with the anime, thinking about just like their plan of euthanization, right? I feel like it's such a weird conclusion to the plan. I mean, cause personally for me, I would just be like, you know what, just kill anybody that disagrees. I'm just being straight. Cause even I'm gonna say this. Even if, because we already see that this world is not as technologically advanced as ours. It's on the way there. It's getting there. Like they got blimps and they're doing planes. They're dropping bombs. It's getting there. But at this point, honestly, even if you get a blip and you drop some Titans on people today, that's the end of the end of a country for most part. You drop some Titans, that's over, right? Like there's nothing.
One colossal Titan.
That's
a whole nuke.
That is the nuke, and that without the radioaction. So it's like I kind of understand
a natural way to end the war.
Natural way to end the war.
You know?
I understand I understand the idea of it. Like if they can't have kids, then no more Titans will be born. But at the same time, I'm just like, that feels like, I mean, especially since you find out like how it came into the world as Titans. That is like that's a temporary solution for a permanent problem. Like sooner or later, it was gonna pop back up. Sooner or later, and I mean, just because of the way the story is written and told. So if they had went down that route or something like that, we would have had 20 years later, and it would have came back, and we would have seen like a little centipede inching on the ground or something like that. Now it'd been ended the story or something. But like that's like the possibility of it. So like I think like that's why like since I haven't read the manga, I think that Eren is playing everybody, including Zeke. Because I feel like Zeke deserves it. Zeke deserves to get played. Because I feel like Zeke, but again, Zeke don't love himself. Zeke don't love himself. You know what I mean? Zeke hates himself.
He got daddy issues.
He got daddy issues.
Big daddy issues.
He don't love himself,
Zeke is a child. You can tell Zeke came up with this plan when he was like 12, and then he just ran with it ever since.
He didn't come up with the plan. That man that gave him gave him that plan. He didn't play any of
it. He gave him the baseball, and that's it.
He was a slave. He was a slave.
Daddy. That's the old baseball son. Nah, that's why he be killing niggas with throwing baseballs in that beast form because he's like, I have a dad.
One nigga catch with him, and now he got a plan that's gonna carry on forever.
And he's like, I can do this with. He's like, bro, no, for you. Yeah, Zeke really thought he was trying to stun Eren. Eren was like, all right, I'm gonna let you think that, but
brother,
brother, like we on a different playing field. You think you may be a prince you may be royalty, but you don't see the vision that I see.
What happened when he turned on his parents, I was just like, Zeke, man, bitch ass.
That was doing all this for some damn catch, nigga. Like
catch. I'll do it for you, Dad.
For some nigga that you don't even know.
Get you right, and you doing this over some catch just because a nigga threw you a baseball.
Just because a nigga want to play games,
right?
Even that guy who was his dad father major issues. He wasn't fully
he was
seen. So that just shows you how much pressure everyone over there was. Like under circumstances.
You can say a lot about Paradis for the most part. Like even though they're on a constant terror because of the Marlians trying to kill him with the Titans and everything. At the end of the day, the people in Paradis, they live the life of their own decisions, choices, and for the most part,
they had more freedom than anybody.
They had more freedom than any of the Eldians, because at that point they were able to live isolated with each other, not having to worry about being discriminated against or persecuted because they were Eldian. While the Eldians and Marley, they were running races to be an honorary Marleyan. Yeah. Just to be treated damn near the same as if they were, and so
just to live for another decade, and that's it. Because now you're like,
bro. No, literally.
Like I just want a little 10 more years of life, so I'm doing this. Like
just so my family can be good. Yeah. That's all they were doing it for, yo. Yeah. Like I'm gonna put my family out there just so they can live with these rich people. Think they can be.
I'm sorry, no, but like I did like how in like the first few seasons of Attack on Titan, like we focus on like the society within the walls, how we thought that was like big, how they would break down like lies and truths, and then when all that got settled down, now it's like this isn't even close. It's not even close to what we're dealing with. Like, because that's I feel like back then it seems so like huge. It seems so because like you had that going on in the Titan, so it was so much like going on. So where now it's like the truth's out, Historia's history, like everything like that. Time are damn near decimated. So now it's like we got another issue. So I felt like that was a nice time because it was just chaotic. Now it's like this is like war stuff. Like I did like that.
We got a comment that said Grisha focused too much on the revolution and Zeke being the center of it, as opposed to just raising him as he did Eren. Which is true. And I mean, but you got. I feel like kid, it was his first kid, and I feel like
that was planned.
It was planned because at first they saw Zeke as the future, as the only future. But I think once he figured out, I think they would have had another kid. Either way, they were gonna have another kid. More like they're gonna try.
Because it was the owl. The owl was like, "Look, we got," and like so with that influence, he was like, "All right, here's royalty. Let me," because I have the tie-in, tag tie-in. So now I have, because he basically Eren, like Grisha was under the same pressure Eren was, so he was doing the best he could with the knowledge that he had, and he was trying to instill that into Zeke, thinking that he was gonna be the Eren, not and then it was because the circumstances they were at, he couldn't do that in Marley.
Nah, so he was trying so hard not to push that revolution shit on Eren.
But Eren said, "I'm about that."
The nigga was like,
"I'm about that life.
I'm about that life. Don't worry about it."
You know what I'm saying?
But I think I even played into like the way that how Eren grew up too. Like as you were saying, like in the Eren environment that he grew up in, he had more freedom. But also he knew that he wasn't really fully free because he was still restricted inside these walls.
Well, talk about the freedom. Think about it. Like unlike Zeke, Eren did not see the persecution and the racism and all that firsthand. You know what I'm saying? He saw most of it through one memories and the future like that. But then also growing up, again, he could do whatever he wanted. Like the only rules was don't leave the walls, right? And even then, people lived and survived outside the walls.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily like I think one of the main reasons why Zeke kind of broke down was because Zeke was front and center in front of everything, and Grisha was right. Grisha had the pressure of trying not to be caught, of trying to spread the revolution, and then also trying to raise a son that he needed to be the Titan to get there. So he needed those three things, but when he got to Paradis, he didn't need all those things. He didn't have to focus on being persecutors like that. He could do his research freely because no one thought anything about him being a scientist. Like,
he was happy.
He's a scientist.
He had a happy life.
Happy as hell because he didn't have to worry about none of that shit. And so he didn't have to put pressure on Eren because he could focus on the shit he was doing without all the other bullshit on the side. Because everybody on the island besides everybody on the island was like, we don't give a fuck what you're doing, and the people who knew what he was doing was with him, so it was like, it doesn't really matter. So like I think that's the biggest difference too.
Yeah, and that's what made even Eren being the antagonist, the protagonist, everything made it so crazy because Grisha didn't even want to continue the plan.
Yeah.
He was always like,
broke
I'm
that
over it,
nigga
I
down.
just want
He
to have,
asked
I just
Eren
want to be
to
happy.
leave.
But then fucking Eren was like, nah, nigga, we gonna
Do
continue
it.
this. We gonna
That
keep
nigga
going.
Grisha said.
Yeah, you started this. You better. I'm gonna finish it. So you
I'ma
better
finish
do
it,
that.
yeah.
Make me eat you.
That
You
nigga
better
Grisha said, Zeke, is that you? Nigga.
Like, I'm
Eren
sorry, I
fucked
failed you.
shit up.
But I love it how throughout that time the dad was feeling Zeke this whole time, and then the end that's when he felt Eren because Eren was giving him that
And
pressure.
his whole tone shit, bro.
Yes.
The whole like, oh,
It's the
Yes.
whole
Eren
thing.
was like,
He was like, is my wife even alive? Can you just tell me that, please?
Mhm.
And he's like, no.
He's like, nah, you be alright. You be alright. You'll be dead in
She
about
be
2
alright.
minutes. So I'm gonna come
like,
up this
but-
mountain. I'm gonna see you. Gonna make me eat you. So it don't matter. It don't even
He's like,
matter.
you so worried about your wife,
It don't
man,
even
kill them.
matter.
Stop
It
worrying
don't
about her. Kill
Yeah.
them.
All right, we got Sensei here. He said gang. He said Romaine with the bonbon. The Bond Gang. But not, I agree with that. I think this is it's a big story. I mean, about it's about two different sides. It's like two sides of the coin. Like I think it's the biggest thing that we'll push like with most of the series. It's just like because I said, I love how it focuses because most of the story is in Paradise. Like most of the story is there because they're the ones that are majorly affected by everything that happened from the past. Marley, for the most part, isn't. Marley's always been a warmongering nation. So like they're not really focused on that. Like that, like they've always been like that. But Paradise, they was trying to survive from an unknown threat because only people who knew about it were all the way at the top. All the people at the bottom were just like, Titans, this is a part of life,
It's just a regular thing.
You get eaten, man. That's crazy.
And even like the craziness of like the royal family, how like it's so intertwined, how like the whole royal bloodline is just like whole bunch of fake families. You got the real ones. You got ugly stepkids. You got bastard kids. Like you just got so much going on, and
going on.
So much going
on. We got some actually. I kind of want to talk about that. Sensei said he said, "Ain't no right, ain't no wrong. It's just a story." You love to see it. No, I don't necessarily agree with that.
It just depends on which side you think was right, which side you think was wrong. I mean, it is a story, but yeah, it's two sides. Either you want one side, you want the other, or you just in between.
Yeah, because it's like the same, not like what we go through in America when dealing with war and other things. It's like you're fed propaganda. That's what Marlians were fed. Propaganda. That's not fight for your country. Like, yeah, that's true and all, but it's like you have to know the whole situation. Sometimes there's nothing to be fought about because everyone was wrong on both ends. Some degrees, yes, there is a wrong side, but when it's something this major, it's so intricate. That's history in general. History in general is messy. So it's just like, and we saw that with Gabi when she was like, "Real people did this," and she was like, "Well, I wasn't alive for that. Neither were you." And she's like, "Well, that's what we were. Like that's just how the world is when they're trying to drive a narrative." So
it's more so a story. Like if you were to put blame on somebody, it would have to be just higher ups. Like civilians don't really know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Now I feel like that's real.
Was once a civilian, and he found out the truth. So now it's like this is the precaution of nobody telling us what the fuck was going on. Now we mad. You know what I'm saying?
I think you think about like when Zeke is doing the test as a kid, and they're asking him like, "Are you ready to fight for Marley? Like you have to fight for Marley. Do you love Marley?" And something like that. And it's like, why should he love a country that like literally would kick him in the face and spit on him, and then just walk by? Like why would he love a country that does that? But if he doesn't conform to that, then he'll
keep going anyway.
And that's why that's why I love the little like secret code Zeke was said to others. Like they knew they were being watched. Like before the battle, they're like, well, here's the daily, making sure we're coons, guys. We gotta go deal with that. And like even the guy said, he's like, why did Zeke say that? Like even the guy listening, he's like, why did Zeke say that? I don't like the way he said that. Like they know, like. That's just how it is.
But that's how But that's how. So I'm gonna read these few comments before I say my thing. Sensei said, he said, "Facts, spicy spitting," and he said both sides did terrible things. They lived life doing shit that they thought was right, and it played out how it did. And he said,
love story.
A literal love story coded in politics and war. And then Kedrick, he says short E. I'm fucking saying that wrong. James sounds a lot like America, and I mean you have to think about it like this. I mean. I would think I hate both sides in any story, right? Now, especially when you parallel to real life, because one side always does more than the other. It's never I can never think of where it says it's 50-50, right? Like after Paradis, like after the Eldians went to Paradis, right? Or they were pushed there, stationed there, forced to go there, whatever, right? If Marley was like, you know what? All we're gonna do is keep them from leaving the island, then I would have felt I wouldn't have been as mad at them. And the Eldians that lived in Marley, if they just forced every Eldian to go there, every single one, they weren't using Titans in warfare. They weren't using. We're gonna talk manga in a minute. Well, they've been spoiling low key the whole time anyway. But if they didn't use,
we didn't even get to talk about Hans, but we talked about it.
If they didn't use Titans in warfare, if they didn't use them as weapons and stuff like that, then I would have been like, you know what? Then Paradis is wrong, right? Like in a certain way, because you are the most dangerous creatures on Earth, and you're forcing yourself onto other people. But when it comes down to it, that's not how it was. It was they push whatever the Eldians into Paradis, and then continue to torment them, continue to use them, continue to do all these things to persecute them, like all that stuff to them. And then you expect them to just lay down and take it for the rest of their lives while you use them as cattle? As fodder for war?
I just thought about the what you call it, the movie that came out with, oh my god, what's it called?
Kedrick.
The Black Panther Party.
Kedrick.
The Black Messiah.
Yeah, the Black Messiah.
Black Messiah.
It's like that, using Black people who are just in like a bad situation to use them for what the wrongs that they done to infiltrate as something that's supposed to be good, because the government
it's like throwing their sins on them to make them feel bad.
Just
like want to change.
Yeah, this guy was a coon, but he got caught for something stupid, and the FBI was like, look, here's a guy who seems to know something, in this area. So let's scare him and use him as bait to be, an informant in this. Like, that's what Rainer and all of them were. That's basically what it was, using them to go in to blend in plain sight. Like that we see that all the time in history, that government. You always see that, especially when it comes to Black people. Like that's all you see. So that's why I related to Eren, because I put myself in Eren's shoes. Like, you've had enough. Like, what if you had enough and you have all of these possibilities to do? Because we've seen that Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these leaders who had different ideals, different things, and that blah, 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 all of them get killed. And it's just like, well, what's the right route to do? Because we're always ended up in the same situation back where we started again as a nation. So what if you have the ability to do all of that and start anew with your homies running the shit? Like, I love that, because it's like, enough is enough.
Fuck all that shit. Just end it all. End it all.
I'll be that person. I'll be that person.
I gotta be the nigga that just fuck some shit up. Fuck it.
Bro,
Eren was literally he was a chaotic person that they needed just to fuck everything up and like turn the whole world upside down. And he did that shit, yo.
No cap.
He did that shit. He literally came and said, I know what y'all need and know that y'all are suffering, and I will give you the answer and lead you into salvation. He was literally Jesus.
Stop it.
Wait. He said he lived from the promised land. I'm gonna need you. No, we don't. We're not going that far. We know I'm not going that far.
I would be your Messiah.
He goes again. This nigga Eren dead. He's a bird now.
I don't know about all that now.
He was their Messiah that they didn't know they needed, and he came and led them out of salvation. That's what I'm trying to say. They didn't know they needed Eren, but Eren was there. He understood that I know that y'all are suffering. I know it, because even on both sides too. Because the way I see, like, both Paradis and Marley, all the Eldians were all literally all caged. They were literally all in the same mindset. They were all like, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what was going on, but they knew that they were all in the same. We're all like in the same situation, knowing that we are all trapped and we're just trying to find a better life and trying to make the situation better for us.
You know what's funny? It makes you think of like you think of Kanye West. Remember when he said that? I mean, it was dumb. And it relates well to this story, but it relates well to real life. But he was like, a lot of, it was a mental slavery. You know what I'm saying? The people,
yo,
a lot of them were
Marlians.
The
Marlians definitely mentally
killed,
enslaved.
Mentally enslaved. I mean, but thing is, it's like but what Marlians did is, and I mean, again, I'm talking about how this is allegorical to black people is they influence, they changed the way they looked at their history. They told them that they were the worst of the worst of society. They pushed them in the ghettos, they restricted their resources, and then after all that, told them that if you come and fight for us, then we'll treat you better. That's the only way.
And that's the only way.
Front lines.
That's what they did with black people too. We're always
exactly.
on the front lines. In every war. Legit.
We was on the front lines, and because they was like, yeah, you do this, we'll give you. I mean, I'm gonna joke about it. We'll give you a Camaro. We'll give you a Camaro, and we'll give you a check. And that's and niggas who never seen a Camaro or a check, they're like, I want both. And I think you can't even fault them for that, because what are you supposed to do when again your whole life is just discrimination, persecution?
Literally. And Eren definitely, he was, I wouldn't say he's like the embodiment of what every black person's feeling, but he's the embodiment of what most people feel like. You know, when you're feeling persecuted, when you know that you have no way out and there's only one answer, and you don't want to do the answer, but you know that someone has to do it. And he took care of the answer. He said, I'm gonna know what I need, because I know we need to get rid of everyone so that we can be free.
He said,
if I don't do that, all y'all niggas gotta go.
I'm doing this shit.
Legit. He said the only way to end persecution, get rid of all the negative people, only have one kind of race. And 20%, bro, 20%.
But I called it like a few chapters back where I'm like, yeah, Eren setting up to where his homies gonna run the whole nation. Like when he first activated the rumbling, I was like, yeah, he's setting up to where his friends gonna be the ones to like run. And I feel like that was really cool of him to do that.
Okay, all right, but
he gave them the tools. Like, said, I'm gonna set it up for you. Now dunk it.
And that's why, that's why he came at Eren. That's why he came at Armin the way he did. Cause look, man, you need to toughen your ass up, cause you can't.
Whooped his ass.
You need to toughen.
For real, that whole table scene made even more sense. Cause when he was like, "You can't beat me."
He said,
"You're gonna need to beat me, though."
Yeah,
you're gonna need to beat me.
Bro, like, that shit was hilarious. He said, "Nigga, you can't, like, what do you think you about to do? Oh, bow, bow. Like, what are you doing?"
And that's why in the end, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever Armin at the end would punch Eren, it's because Eren wanted him to. He wanted him to.
He let him do it.
He let him do that.
Oh no, he definitely did. Because remember, man, he tried to punch him once, and Mikasa stopped it. And he didn't move. He didn't move. And then he stopped. And then he stopped. And then he let him go. And he knew what was going to happen. He knew he was going to do it again. And so he just said, he was like, and it was watching the full scene. And I remember the comments of people like, why didn't Mikasa step in or something like that? And I'm like, because if Mikasa stepped in, if Mikasa stepped in, she would have proved Eren right.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, she already did that.
Well, no. She did. That's why she stepped back and let them fight.
Yeah.
Because if she had jumped in again, then Eren's just like, you can't even fight your programming when we this close. You can't even fight your programming when we right here. But I'm supposed to expect you to do it down the road? Right. No.
In the end, I didn't like how. I love Armin, but he got my nerves in the end. He was like, "It's me, I'm Armin Arlen, I'm your next leader." Like, shut up!
Yeah, shut the fuck
up. Even after being so soft about it,
you got your balls today. Shut up! Like, shut up! You're privileged. Your best friend handed you all this shit. Shut up! You ain't do no.
Handed him every damn thing.
Handed you on a silver platter.
The keys to the city.
He said, y'all want to give it to Eren? No. Why you gonna
when they showed the little flashback, I think
Armin's a better choice.
Literally called Armin and talked to him. Like he ain't talked to nobody. He told Armin what was gonna happen, and it's like, all right, I'm about to wipe your memories again, so you can. I mean, we can pretend that you about to do this shit yourself. But I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
He said, "We're gonna go back. We go back to fight. You gonna remember as soon as you kill me. You gonna remember everything." That's why he was crying. He's like, "Oh."
Like, nigga, you did not do this. Eren did this for you.
All right, so quick question. Since I got a question, he said if they had both gotten into Titan form in that fight, who would have won? I think I gotta say I want to say Eren, just because he was in
the last fight. He was beating Armin's ass. He was beating Armin's ass fight in the manga.
But
besides having the attack Titan,
technically they weren't playing the same Titan though. Yeah.
He has the Warhammer and the attack.
I found him, bro. He's
when Eren got all those Titans in him, and he was fighting Eren that final scene. him and Armin. I don't even think that was a fair fight, to be honest, because
Armin
I think
didn't
Eren
even
was already
transform that much. I don't think. Like, did he?
He only transformed like 3 times.
Yeah, like he was just there.
I don't think he even knew how to use his powers that well. Yeah, he used as like a tool.
Sensei said he's talking about when they were in that meeting. I still think Eren had the Warhammer and the attack. No,
Eren would have beat his ass, but he didn't want to because he needed his friend alive to run shit when he gone.
If they turned into Titans, I think it would have been like some kaiju type shit. He would have been climbing up that man's body. He would have climbed that man's body, formed that hammer with the spike, and just smacked Armor right out of his body.
That's why Eren had his hand cut, because he was like, you don't want those problems. And did anyone bite their finger?
For real.
No one bite their fingers off.
They knew.
So therefore, no one wanted these problems.
When Eren pull up with the hand, bro, niggas don't. It's like having a gun to your face.
Yes. He said, I just want to talk, man. I just want to talk.
But then again, he put a shotty on the table. Armor was never a fighter, though. Even you go back out to Connect.
He wasn't.
That man was always getting his ass.
Armin was always soft, yo.
He was a thinker.
Well, he was a strategist. He was a strategist of the, and that's where I liked him as the strategist.
See. Sensei said we underestimated Colossal. It's not underestimating the Colossal. It's the user. It's the user. It's the user. I think.
Look at Rainer. Ass with the freaking armor titan.
That man was getting his ass beat.
I can see.
That was Annie with the armor titan. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Annie.
Gosh. Annie would have been
bodied
everybody.
Everybody.
But Rainer asked with armor titan, man. But that's because he got his own.
Got bodied by
oh my god! Can we talk about how Reiner didn't get one W? Like he just.
He was maintaining
the form. First of all, Reiner didn't want to fight no more. That man Reiner said, "Get me out of here. I'm done.
Falco saved his life. Falco saved his life. He was like, "Oh, Rainer."
He was getting his.
He said, "Wake up!" He said, "Rainer, wake up!" And Rainer was just sitting there.
He was like, "My shotgun was that shotgun was."
He said, if y'all wasn't alive, I wouldn't be alive. Y'all the only reason why I'm here right now. And then he was in like the half form of the armor type.
Yeah, he was
like, and Frank was like, wake up! And Brandon's like, yo, let me die. Let me die. Yo, where's Eren at?
Trying to die in peace,
please.
As an old man, that's it.
Bro, Reiner was.
He had that PTSD going crazy.
Bro, that shotgun was a double barrel shotgun. He was ready to go. He was ready to
blow himself to smithereens. But I will say I did like Rainer a lot more in this season. And I think it's because and it's like, again, it's a parallel. I think parallel with Falco. I think he saw himself in Falco. And I think that's why he confided so much in Falco, is because
Falco actually know how to take a fucking W.
Exactly. But Falco almost beat Rainer ass when he. I'm not gonna spoil that, but when he got turned, he was. That's what Rainer was like. It's gonna be Falco.
What I mean is that Rainer was like when you see the flashback scenes, he got hurt. But when you see the flashback scenes, you see that like same thing with Bartol, same thing with Annie. Is that they actually Annie was a little bit psychopathic, but like they were.
Annie said, "I'm the muscle."
I'm the beat.
And he said, "You need me to fight."
Annie wasn't even the muscle.
I'm just need to fight. But you guys said Rainer.
Whoop your ass.
Honestly, Rainer's more like Zeke than anybody else. He shouldn't have been a Titan. He shouldn't have been a Titan. He shouldn't have got one of the Titans.
Forced into it, yeah.
As soon as he got to the island, fucked up, one, and then two, soon he started meeting the people and talking and making friends. He didn't even want to do that shit no more. He was just like at certain point he was doing it to try to prove something to himself. He
became a whole different person, whole other. He had dissociative disorder.
Yeah,
this man had
exactly. Because he's dissociative disorder. My man split into two people and was like, all right, I'm gonna play the fool here, but reality, I know who I am. But even then, it all collided.
He was becoming his best friend because he felt guilty, and he was like, "We ain't got no leader." He's like, "I'll be the leader." This formed his whole thing.
He was trying to prove something to himself that he was never going to prove. You didn't want.
Yes,
you didn't want to do that.
It was
just a pressure that these are on the kids.
Thing going. And if y'all ever seen season 2 of Fire Force with that one Adola burst where he has that little superhero like mentor, y'all know what I'm talking about?
Who?
Like, season 2 of 5, the little kid Adola burst.
Oh, you're talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You're talking about the kid, and he was getting
the kid with like the orange hair. He has
with the psychotic brain.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what Reiner was like. He started getting that little superhero in his head, talking about you got to be the one to do it. You got to be the one to do it. Yeah, let him to get his ass whooped a lot. I guess that's where the confidence came from to get his ass whooped. But
the thing was, he didn't want to fight. That's why.
Yeah, it's like I think in these
Yeah,
last
he didn't
ones,
want to.
when he came back to Marley, he had to break down the facade and go into another facade because of course everyone's fucking brainwashed there. So having him see everything that really happened on Marley and then having to come back and become another thing for his family, so now like it was effing up his head. And that's why I think it was so metaphoric for him that he's the armored titan, like one of the strongest titans that can protect himself. And
But
inside he's this little baby boy who's soft, he doesn't want to fight. And he has all his potential, but he's not utilizing it because he needs help.
It was
Ryder's
so funny
little
because his
wanted to
mom
fight
caught
back
on
after
to
a
his
while.
cap. Like he was capping, talking about they got this little one girl that be eating all the time. And the shit is freaky as fuck. His mom talking about Reiner. What the fuck?
No, that was him. That was him speaking in like a metaphoric tone. That was him remembering the good times and trying to play the role for his family. But his mom caught it. Yeah, his mom was like, but he was
they're devils, right?
His mom said they're devils. They don't, and it's like and in fact, but I like that part because Reiner he realized like at that point he's like they not really devils though. Like they just they live just like us.
Reiner was definitely his character growth was definitely one of my favorites because he was like the embodiment like what the brainwashing did to kids. They were the forced brainwashing, what they put onto these kids as like little kids going into this whole other paradise having to fulfill a mission and how it completely messed up his whole mental scape. He had PTSD, he had split personalities, he was fucked up mentally, and then he had to live with these people knowing that he was here to commit atrocious things to them. He knew that he was here for crimes, but he was like, nah, I gotta full continue. And then when he had that mental breakdown, I think, and he finally told Eren what was going on, told him like, oh, I'm so and so. That shit was so perfect. I'm like, yo, that's him right there. That's when he realized, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. I gave up.
Yeah.
I just want to go home at this point. I just want to go be. That was a little kid coming out. I just want to go home to my mama. That's what I want. That's what he wanted to say.
And Berto was that reminder for him. Cause I remember when once it was revealed that they were like the traitors, like Rainer was like, yeah, like those are our friends, and Berto was like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh. He was like, never mind. He was like, he was like, oh.
Yo,
and Berto was
he kept going back and forth too, yo.
Berto
I'm sorry. Yeah,
he was on that, but Berto was some.
It was the first one we saw, and like the whole thing.
Berto was. I hated, like, even though Rainer was like he would be taking L's, I hated every time Berto would go to transform and Boy would start crying, and I'm just like, I'm tired of you, bro. Like, why are you being her? Like, you know what you decided to do. You made like that's again. I appreciate Annie.
It was to love Annie.
I appreciate Annie because Annie was like, yo, I came to fuck shit up. That's just straight. Like that's who I am. Like I just came to fuck shit up. That's it. And like she was with it. Like and even though Reiner was taking L's, Reiner again, we don't see a sympathetic side of Reiner till season 4. Every other season, we thinking that he just a traitor ass nigga, but he was the whole time he was worried about it. But fucking Berto would be like. I'm like, bro, like, bro, and that's why he lost. So that's why he be losing.
Annie, are you happy? Annie.
Yo, he did lose pretty quickly, too easily.
He
lost way too easily, bro.
Because that, like Sensei said because him and Kedrick they're talking about they're talking about in the comics. He said I agree that armor wasn't as skilled with the Titan as Eren was. But at the end of the day, due to the Titan, no Titan can touch a class due to the size, and it would take hella plan to take him out. And in 1v1, I don't know. And all I'm saying is, Berthold was not more mentally strong. Berthold was not.
It was the name
Berthold.
I say Berthold, but I don't really know the nigga name. Berthold,
bitch. He wasn't more like mentally tough than Armin. Like they were on the same level of like mental toughness. But Armin was smarter and more strategic than him. That's I think the only two difference between them. But Armin, I think, ended the day.
And that only took Erwin coming out and pulling that out of Armin.
Yeah.
That's if it wasn't for that, he'd still be the same like
a little crybaby ass bitch. But that's just how it be. He said Annie is still a bae. Even though she gay.
Annie and Mikasa and all y'all Mikasa lovers would come and fight me about it. Because she had the most development out of any character. She had the most development over Mikasa. I'm sorry.
No, she did.
She had the most development.
Her being in that crystal gave her more time to have accelerated development. Because if Mikasa's development was kind of rushed like Annie's development, then it would be a problem. Because Mikasa's been alive this whole present this whole time. Annie's had time to like reflect. You know what I'm saying? She got listen to everybody.
Because
was she even reflecting, or was she just listening to all the conversations?
Yeah, because Eren came. I mean, Armin would come and like talk to her, and he has the tie, and so like, then you know how they all have paths, they're all connected.
Yeah.
So she probably was like, kind of was getting an idea what was happening currently through him. So that's when she came out. She's like, "Look, I'm with y'all, man." Like she's like, "All this shit is going up, so I'm with y'all." And I really like
Sensei said
Annie's main purpose in the entire story. She was just trying to get back home to her dad. Yeah, legit. That's all she wanted.
Once she got to her dad, she was like
that. For real. And then this is the same man that was beating her every night.
Yo, she thought he was gone, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just stay back. I don't really give a fuck no more."
And then it's even crazy. That wasn't even her real dad too, yo. Annie's whole purpose was just like she didn't even know what she wanted. She was only doing things because people told her what they had to do. And she was only going against what everyone else said. Okay, sure, I'll do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Let's go attack. But she didn't have real purpose. I didn't see her as like a driving force in the series as like a pivotal point aside from Armin's growth as aside from everyone else's growth. Because she was in that crystal just for everyone else to really develop. Like, oh damn.
Yeah, she was too OP. Each time I was like, "God, this bitch go off."
OP.
This bitch got go.
One thing I like though, I like how Isayama did the Eldians that lived in Marley, how he did their parents. Like you had parents like Grisha's parents who were like brainwashed, and they're like, "Yo, we'll turn you in if you do some stupid shit." But then you had parents like Reiner's mom, who was just worried about Reiner, and she was like, "Yo, I just don't want you to get fucking caught. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to do none of that shit." Even when they was fighting, she's like, "Yo, where the fuck is Reiner?" And that whole like the rumblings going on, she's just looking like, "Is Reiner still there?" He's getting his ass whooped, but he's still there. I'm cheering for you. And then Annie's dad just being a good person, stuff like that.
Revolution, being part of like a revolution.
This is what Sensei said.
Becoming the leader and like, yo, put the guns down.
This is what Sensei said. Sensei said Mikasa may not be a better character, but Annie spent most of her time in a crystal, and when she got out, it became about her dad.
Okay, but I'm gonna spoil it for y'all. So when they were on Falco, right around Eren's ass, they're like, what we gotta kill this man. And Mikasa was in her brain freaking out. Annie really spoke up and said, "Hey, I'm with y'all." Like she had a very emotional moment for her character because she did not fuck with any of them niggas in that group. So for her to say that I'm with y'all, I felt that. I was like, yo, like that was nice because Annie don't be talking to niggas like that. She didn't talk to Rain and them like that. She just all spice.
She only cared about
so for her to have,
she wanted her dad to be okay.
But she only cared about his story.
But she also wanted them to be okay. That was her caring for everyone.
She didn't care about.
She was genuine at a moment.
She didn't care about them niggas at all.
Because she cared about Armin. I don't care what anybody says. She cared about Armin.
Barely. She only cared about him because he came to visit her all those times.
That's facts.
So and that's probably because of Berthold's memories too. Because Eren said that because you're part of Berthold, you have his memories and you have your love for Annie too. That she doesn't even love you back. So that's probably even why she even cared for him anyway. I don't think, man. Her purpose is kind of like
I don't got an opinion on this right now, so y'all got it. I don't got an opinion on this right now, so y'all got it. Although I would say I think my problem is Mikasa
goal was to get to her father. Yeah.
I think that's definitely her entire goal.
I think
overall she had a moment, but to say she got more development than Mikasa, can we say that? Nah.
Annie was just a realist in that situation. What are you gonna do if you gotta kill Eren? What's her best thing? I mean, I say
cool as shit though. I like how she get down.
I think I like Annie better than Mikasa. I think the problem with Mikasa is that a lot of her character is pretty stagnant for most of the series, and since
around Eren.
Yeah, since Annie, that's not her. Like we had Annie being with Historia through like the first season and everything, and then we have when she comes back. I haven't read it, but from what y'all hearing, deals with her dad and like that. So it feels like her character just seems to be a little more complex than Mikasa's, because Mikasa just doesn't kind of like
You see, I hear you, but she never got that complexity developed. Like they never went into like what made her such a complex character. They only saw her as a character that was like a single driven character who only had one thing in their mind, was just getting the mission over with, so I can go back home and get out of here. And that's why
her story is very one-sided, like Ymir's, to be honest, because nobody loved Annie until she met that nigga. Like nobody cared about Annie. at all. And then she met him, and she found out what love meant and shit like that. And yeah, that's really it. There could have been more to her story, I think, but I mean, they chose to go that route. But
she was just a supporting character, if anything.
Yeah.
Support the growth of everyone, and support the story as a whole. That, you know, they cared about their family, and they all had their own motives, but at the end of it, it was just to get to that end goal. It was just like, you know, get rid of people.
All right, let's get into the spoilers now. Let's talk about the ending. All right, let's talk about the ending. You can bring in Hanj as you talk, but let's talk about the ending. What did y'all think? What did y'all think about the Attack on Titan ending? So if you haven't read the manga, then we get into spoiler territory. So I would either, if you don't want to hear spoilers, I mean, I would just like leave off and come back later. Or I mean, if y'all don't care, you can stay. I mean, I don't really. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all, I don't really care. Let's go. All right, so what y'all got? What y'all think of the Attack on Titan ending? What y'all think?
Greatest love story ever.
Oh my god!
It was a great love story, because it was literally about love. It really, and the entirety of the series, it was about how love at the end would always prevail, and that's what it did. That love that Mikasa had for Eren, that love that, you know, Ymir had for Carl Fritz, that love was a driving force for them to do what they had to do, and it just showed that you have to love someone strong enough to have the will to do what it takes to end your life, and that shows how love can persevere throughout anything, you know. And I don't think I just didn't like about the end was just how Eren he went from being such a hardened character to being someone that's just kind of wimp, and it's like, oh man, Eren.
Damn.
Like,
I agree.
You like, I put you on this pencil. You was a mass murderer, bro. Now you go down to Pinky Winky, and I'm like, damn.
He was so collective. Like in a crazy situation, he was calm. He was on his feet, on his toes. So for him to have that moment and just like, I was like, Eren, so did you not grow up? And then I realized, no, he did not. He didn't grow up because he literally had so many things he had to he had to do, so he was still technically 14, 15 years old. So yeah, it makes sense. But then I'm like, you just like Mikasa because she's around. Do you really love her? Because this little temper tantrum shit, I did not like. Because
you saved her life. Like, he did save her life.
No, I know, because I thought he loved her in a family sense, like a brother sense. Like that's I felt like that Mikasa loving him romantically, and him loving her as like a family thing. I feel like that would have been such a nice duality type thing, because it's like it's still love, and then it doesn't matter if it's romantic or not. It's still love. They still love each other. I would have liked that ending, but when he broke down and started crying, I was like, Eren, what were we building? What were we building for? Like, your character just diminished. All of those chapters just diminished when you break it down. Because what were we doing?
But honestly, it could still be that though. It could still be like a family.
No,
because like you said, like you said, he's like 14, 15 still in his mind.
Yeah,
it could be a fact of I just don't want Mikasa to go like nowhere.
Well, because that's when he said he was like, I don't want to die yet, and that's when he said like I was frustrated, and like I get it. He had to break down his walls and his thing in order to say his truth before it all ended. I get that. But it could have been portrayed a different way. I felt like, in my opinion, I felt like.
Wait. So you didn't think the cabin scene showed how much he loved her at all? Like when they were in that cabin together, and they were like, "Oh, imagine if we went away together." And that is.
Yeah. Well, no, that wasn't Mikasa's head. That's what I thought that was like. People said that wasn't like in her head when before. Was that not in her head?
I don't know whether it was.
That's the thing. It was both of them. It was both Mikasa and Eren, because they were all in that plane. So it was literally like it was a say though, like that was literally in like the the plane of all existence or whatever. But like there was time didn't exist. So that moment in time, Eren and Mikasa were both kind of in that moment. Okay. They were both kind of in that moment. Like it was Mikasa's dream, but Eren was still present in that moment. I feel like that's how I interpret it.
Yeah,
because we talked about that chapter on. Because we talked about that chapter in the podcast, how we thought that I thought that was like Eren like kind of going to her, but then Eren was like, no, like that was like all in her head. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess that also makes sense. But
so we got somebody on. They said no, that was Eren sharing that vision with her. They were in the paths. So that was what Eren showed her when he was going into their mind, similar to Armin.
That's what I thought when I first read the chapter. Yeah. But in the pod, they're like, oh no, it's part of mine. I was like, okay, because that's I start second guessing myself because that's what I thought when I read it. I was like, oh,
stick to
okay,
your guns.
they
Stick to
should do
your
one name.
guns.
That AOT, that complexity.
Complexity, man. You have to really reread it again and again to understand
Sensei said he gives it a 9 out of 10, and that the only thing that bothers him is that Gabi lives. And then he said Rome is in rare form. Bro. He said Rome, you're in rare form.
Shout out.
I'm not gonna hold you though.
Yo, Gabi honestly had only.
I think her
sniper skills is what made Gabi dope.
I think her dying kind of
fuck out of Eren.
I think
smacking the beam. Wow. I said, damn.
From deep.
I think her dying would undermine.
She had the vision, bro.
I think her dying kind of undermines one of like the main themes of the story, which is kind of in a way of like redemption or like resolution, like fighting.
Everyone deserves a second chance. Yeah. Everyone, no matter what they were dealt with, and
you know what also starts? It also starts the next love cycle.
Her and Falco, yeah. I mean, but I will say though, Gabi, I didn't like her at first for obvious reasons. But I still didn't like her through the first fight. Like when they did when Marley did their response, the counterattack, I still didn't like her. And it was just towards the end where I started to be like, okay. But I can't just look back at what you did but it's like, you're kind of cool now, I guess. Not really,
my thing is like we said, Isayama makes you like understand these characters. In the beginning, you're like, yo, she does the most. But then when she's taking out of Marley and gone to Paradise Island, she kind of like pushes to the back after that moment with Sasha's family, because it's like kind of like a back and forth type thing. So after that, she locked up and somewhere crying, like she just along for the ride, not really doing much, because I think she learns like, okay, now again, learn both sides of the coin.
She got pretty forced to like, cause it's like, if you don't fuck with us now, I don't know what the fuck. We saved your fucking life, nigga. That we could have let our shorty just off your ass because she was ready.
Man, Gabi could have got off. Gabi could have got off at least like 3-4 times.
She should have been got off a long time ago, but she was there as the main reason, as showing that like she's the determination of people to continue to live. Because she was like, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna get to Eren and I'm gonna kill him because.
But she needed humbling though, because she got that, and she got that.
I didn't like how they had Gabi kill the Titan, like how Sasha killed the Titan for her. I didn't like that just because I didn't like Gabi. So I felt like it's like, oh, now you owe me type shit. I'm like, no, Gabi, you still like nobody fucks with you still.
GB said, this is just funny, so you have to hear this. GB said, I'm happy Gabi lived. She represents humankind's ability to evolve and grow, which I agree, which I think is one of the main themes of the story. Sensei said, I realized after the rumbling started that she wasn't going to die. And then he said, fuck her and you, GB.
he then said, can you talk about the scene in the forest?
Yeah, can you talk about the scene in the forest?
Yes. Levi said, you thought you just could turn my homies and Titans, I was gonna kill them.
Nigga, do you know who the hell Erwin is dead, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
But I just love how Zeke was in his book, and then he was like, and Zeke was like, what are you doing? And then
he started running away.
Zeke got scared.
Look, Grisha would have been proud because he was out, bro. That nigga was running. Grisha would have been proud.
He was doing a 4-4.
Zeke got scared. Nigga
said, I can run that.
Grisha's funny. Once they assigned you to Levi, I would have just been like, I would have given him my plan. I'm like, can one of y'all go back and tell Eren we gotta switch plans? Because this shit ain't gonna work no more.
I love Levi and Zeke's like bigger man. Like whenever they talk, it's like, I'm gonna kill your ass. He be like, all right, we'll see. I'm gonna kill you. The first time I get, I'm gonna kill you.
Terrified.
He's the one that always try to act like fake hard, and then
when he turned into the Beast Titan, he thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him this time. And Levi's like, I've beaten you twice. Why do you keep thinking it's gonna work? It's not gonna work.
Running? Why? Why are you ready? Why are you ready?
When Levi saw Zeke's face come out of the fountain, and then he just immediately, I said, "Damn."
He was like, "I got you now."
It's really over now.
But he did kind of say, "Hey, come. I'm here. Come take me out."
That's a 4-0 sweep.
Sensei said he said, "Oh, that one too." But I was talking about the chapter where Yelena and Annie and Reiner and all of them was just like, "Yeah, we hate each other now." I don't read. So.
Flashback?
Oh.
Was it the flashback with the three of them?
When they was walking to
when they first.
Paradise?
We need some clarification, Sensei. Not totally sure. We need some
Yeah, Sensei, what are you talking about?
Yeah, which one? Which one?
I will say, Levi really is the realest nigga in the series. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, he won. He won all of the whole series.
Yeah, no, he does.
Yeah, 406.
Levi.
He's one of the realest niggas in anime. Period. I just can't. We just gotta talk.
100%.
He was about that action, and he could back it up. He
fought by himself. He never no regimen or nothing. He did everything himself.
I'm sorry. When he said, "Do you know how many friends I've killed?"
No, literally.
How many Shonen niggas would have been like, I've killed so many friends. They would have started crying. Like this man said, this is my life.
Use as a reason to persevere.
But that
shows,
I
killed him, and I'm gonna keep going.
But that shows how Zeke thinks, how small-minded Zeke thought Levi was. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna kill just like how I do too." And Zeke said, "Nigga, what?
Yeah, like, nigga, I not you.
Niggas die every day over here. I don't know what to do
every day, B.
But niggas die every day over here.
Yeah.
What?
They die every day.
He was in a survey course for the longest too.
Yeah, he done seen some shit.
And then he was trained by what's his name? So all he saw was niggas dying around him. He was in the slums.
Niggas
dying. You think he cared?
Yeah. I mean, Zeke's problem was just he brainwashed. He assumed that the niggas at Paradise just not like that. Like, we're so technical. Whatever advanced. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I can't talk right now, but you know what I'm saying. We're so advanced that we know everything. We're stronger. We're faster. We're smarter. Zeke don't even know that his ass run a 4.9. He think he like that.
He got Tom Brady speed. You got Tom Brady speed, cuz.
Like,
and that's why when Levi had him in that damn wagon with the damn spear in him, he's like, change if you want, change if you want. And that's when Zeke had a little tantrum because he was like, "Oh, it's not fair. I didn't have a dad growing up."
Zeke really a big ass kid, like
legit, big ass. Really, they're all kind of kids mentally in a sense because they all never really grew up. They're always in a state of like always in danger, always just trying to. You have to grow up at an early age. Gotta get serious. Gotta go fight these titans. Gotta go survive this world. So they never really had a chance to be kids. They never really enjoyed life. Like the way, and this was so beautiful because the scene opens up with figuring out the whole series starts off with fucking Eren sleeping in the grass, so peaceful, thinking he's gonna have a peaceful childhood. Shit says nope. Childhood over. Real shit.
He said no.
Mama did.
Wow. Eren himself said no to Eren.
Yeah.
So, Sensei said it was chapter 127. He said, "Somebody go check it out so y'all know what I'm talking about."
I'm about to go check
and then
it
GB
out.
While
said,
y'all are doing that, can we just talk about Hodge?
1 second. Before we get GB said, I'm guessing he's referring.
128.
127. 127.
You said 127.
Yeah, I guess he's referring to what we just talking to. But GB said that's cat. I guess talk about like them not having childhoods or something like that. Well, I think the point is. I think the point about the story is about how war robs people of their lives, of like their not just lives as in life or death, but then lives as in an actual chance to be, grow up and be the person you want to be or make those decisions. Because I mean, for Zeke lost his childhood too. Yeah, it happened to Grisha too. Zeke lost his childhood because of the pressure of having to save his entire race of people. Then Eren got basically tasked with the same thing, lost his. All of the scouts.
What they did to Grisha's sister was wild though. That shit was crazy.
All the scouts.
That was wild. But that was some real shit though. That was some real
I could see this is a fight where what's his name? Punches Reiner when they're at the campfire and they have Pike, they have Hans, they have everyone, and they also have the niggas from Marley. They're all together. Like,
when they're all talking to each other.
Yes, they're all like, we hate y'all niggas. We hate y'all niggas too. Well, F y'all too. We gotta work together. We do, but I still don't like y'all niggas. I don't live. And then here go Yelena in the background, like, I am niggas. I just love Zeke. I want to see Zeke win.
Yeah, Yelena blew me, bro. I'm sorry. She blew the shit out of me. I was like, son, if you don't get your, she talking about, is Zeke gonna fix this? No, No, he's not.
She had a god complex, but like in the worst way, because she praised these titans so much that she thought they were gods. They were the end all, be all, and she was going to do anything for them.
Yeah, and
so it's like she was.
When she first saw Eren, she was like,
"You just doing this because you want to do this. Like you don't even got no reason to do this shit. You just
no
a
reason.
ass bitch."
Well,
I mean, she had a reason because she was captured by the enemy.
Yeah, you think about it. She
had to like adapt and do what she had to do.
I think she saw the Titans as gods in a way because of the stories that it's also because Marley is its own downfall. By telling that the fake history, they show that their only loss, their biggest loss, and their main loss was to the Titans. And then after Marley went and conquered and stole people from different areas and did also to them, they're like, Titans are the gods. If Titans can stop these people, they different. And so that's why they sought them out.
They repeated the history. When you don't know your history, do them to repeat it. And that's exactly what happened.
Since they said that scene was so fire, I have not enjoyed dialogue that much in a while.
No, it was so intense. That was such because you really saw both these forces just come together for one common enemy. That's Eren. But you kind and that was the start of like how homeboy he died on a boat with what's his name? How you saw like how the start of both the countries kind of coming together, understanding, kind of understanding each other, and realizing like we all just want to survive, like type thing.
Yeah, legit. Everyone just trying to survive.
And then GB said Yelena had a Moses complex.
She did. She really did.
Yeah, that was Moses, not God. She was like, I need a leader.
Well, she saw herself as the person being directed by God to take her people or the people that she believed like the volunteers.
She was a prophet. She had like a prophet.
She thought of herself as a prophet.
But
like she
wasn't even their people. That wasn't her people. That's the thing that was.
But you have to understand, her people as in a group of displaced people with nowhere else to go, who looked at her as their leader. So to the volunteers, they were all of the same. They were all the same because they were all treated to the same persecution. So they were like, we'll come together, and Yelena is our leader. And Yelena saw the Titans as the gods that could save, that could take them to their promised land. So, so I that makes sense. That makes sense to me, G.
Yo, Jean beat the shit out of Reiner this chapter. I totally forgot. This man beat the crap out of him.
As he should. I was I would have beat the fuck out of him once I saw that nigga's face again.
I felt for Jing when he went to the forest and cried, man. Like I really did. I just feel that.
Because I mean, he lost so many of his friends.
Yeah,
and
Rainer killed a lot of his friends, and now I have to work with this nigga again.
About Marco.
He
whooped his ass. Hell yeah.
Because and Rainer was faking being sad with so much shit. And now they all looking at him like, so you wasn't even sad at all.
And bringing us saying, I'm sorry. They're like, we supposed to believe you, bro.
Yeah, you was in our face. You was the one that did it. And you talking about and you didn't stop. You like if you I mean, was the
get your ass whooped.
Literally.
What was it? Was the trick me once? What, shame on me? Trick me twice? Shame on you? Trick me 3? You gonna get tricked again? They're like, that's not happening. No.
I hate this little side story shit, but I don't care what his story was. Every time he talking about, I know you shouldn't forgive me, nigga. I want to beat your ass right now. Like, shut up. Just don't say nothing, cause you gonna piss people off. That's why Gene was pissed off. Like, nigga, I want to hear your words.
No, what they mean nothing. They mean nothing, and
nothing at all.
Not a damn thing.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
you kept doing it. You kept doing it.
Can you really apologize knowing that you can't apologize for knowing what you did? You did it willingly, knowing that you wanted to go there to fuck shit up. So you can't even apologize for that because it's your fault.
Yeah. You literally could have went back home.
Cascade of dominoes.
Yes,
exactly. You started the whole cascade
any of them
dominoes.
said, "Hey, let's go home since our leader's dead because of you." And he was like, "We can't do it. We can't." Like,
nah.
He's like, we have to finish the mission because you was trying to.
She was like, "Who's gonna lead it? You nigga? You not strong." He was like,
but again, that's why Annie was the GOAT when it came to them 3, because Annie was like, "Yo, I'll go home right now. I don't give a fuck."
Period.
I'll
I'm
go
not
home.
all
Get back
I'm
to her
not all
dad,
this shit
yo.
down and go home. I'm
She
not.
wanna go back to her dad,
I'll go home
bro.
right now.
She's like, I'm trying to go see my dad.
Berto was crying and Raina was having delusions of grandeur, and she was just like, "Yo, I'll go home
Like,
right
nigga,
now.
that's
Take
dumb.
me back
It
to the
was a
ship.
shit
I'll go
show.
home right now."
Bro, she went and found what's that one Ackerman? What's his name? When she
Kenny.
went undercover. Yeah, she was like, well, y'all niggas up here
Kenny,
playing y'all niggas up here playing friends and shit. I was out here getting recon. I was getting shit done. Like
She talking about you're my dad. He said, "Excuse me."
Yeah. He was like, I don't remember having any.
See, I be dipping my tip in all the fountains. I don't know who you are.
Hey.
Sensei said, "Can we talk about Eren's orgasmic murder spree chapter?"
Oh, when the Rumble first started? Or you mean when he first killed that general?
I mean, we talking about at the beginning of the season. That man was different. I still love that scene. I love that scene so much. When the dude's up, I just love parallels. When the dude's at the top, he's talking about. He's like, "Yeah, we're going to war with Paradis," and he said, "We declare war right now." And everyone was like, "Cool." I was waiting for that. That's exactly what I was waiting for. Exactly what I was waiting for. And that
by those hands
said when he was happy, he was killing people with the rumbling.
No, when he was like. He don't look,
that
guys.
Nigga was smiling like shit, son. Oh my god.
But I love that because when he was like, look, when I found out that there was other humans over that wall, I was so disappointed. I was like, yo, like he was like
about to go down.
Like more
and I loved how that was in like he was in his kid form while he was experiencing all of that. Cause like, you know, like it just again shows to the whole like he didn't get a chance to grow up, but he wanted to see past the walls. So now that he's seen past the walls, he's like,
it's time to get down to business.
This is so cool.
Man, that shit
that was a beautiful chapter. It was drawn beautifully too. That whole chapter was so detailed. I loved seeing.
But when them two kids
I can't
was
wait for my
running,
reread.
And then they had a little flashback.
Yo,
I'm sorry, bro. I did not mean to do none of this. It's not your fault. I'm sorry. And then he's like, nigga, what?
Yeah.
And then he goes right back to them. He's like, yo, save me. Come on.
That was such a perfectly positioned flashback that it just tied everything together. I love when that flashback came because I was like, everything makes sense. I'm like, how did Eren even get on Marley? Like, explained so much and into now, which is chaos. I was like, I loved it because he was just like, hey man, sorry, but you're gonna be in a better place.
But that run was fast as fuck. They could not outrun that bitch. That shit was I said, damn.
They really tried.
He said,
how you gonna outrun the big ass fucking foot?
Just come on, I got money saved up and everything. Boom, you going.
Like, but I loved how Isayama showed like the crushing of like this, like of each human body. Like, how can you draw that?
The foot placement as it's going down.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That shit hurt.
That
shit hurt it. Even Hans.
I was just about to say Hans.
Went out like a G. I'm sorry, Hans.
I can't wait till that shit get.
But I
Me
love
too.
the way when she stood up.
Everybody just looking at the Titan. She's like, "Yo, these niggas are really cool." And then when
legit, yeah.
Because she stayed true to herself to the end. Because she's always been interested in Titan since the beginning. She's always like, she was always examining Eren, like, it's so fascinating. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So to see that kind of like have a full circleness, to have her she going out, still growing and reach the occasion, but still being
every
herself.
Commander went out like a G, so I
went out.
No, for real.
When she sat up, and I thought like, wait, is she not? And then I realized she was actually in the path. I was like, wow, that blew my mind. I'm like, damn, that's exactly where she needs to go.
Yes.
When they first started using the path,
do good. Like that was.
Yes. And Eren was like, Eren was like, you did that, girl.
You did, girl.
That was hard, bro. I love that, bro.
That was a hard.
When they introduced that shit, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is perfect. This is what you need to do. Bring everyone back, and that's when you know she was about to end because everyone's coming back, seeing all their faces. I'm just like, this is breaking me down, man.
Bro, when that shit gets animated, bro, I won't be able to last.
Bro, when it gets animated,
But no, I like the dock scene when Connie had to make that decision. That scene, I did like that scene because it was.
About, yo, Connie, I appreciate you. Good looking, my nigga. He like, shut the fuck up.
Wait, were you talking about the scene when he had to put the gun to what's his name?
Yeah, where it was like, they were like, we know you're lying, like he's like, we're friends. He was like, hey man, we gotta go.
I came here like Blxxk ago, and I be here with my mom every day. I gotta brush the Titan teeth, bro. You know how bad her breath stink.
Oh my
god, going, son.
Bro. That gave me that put a whole nother level of Connie's character, knowing that he was still going back to his mom and every day just to brush his teeth, and then we tried to eat, then tried to.
That shit was crazy.
Falco,
yeah. That's why I love when that smoke happened, Connie immediately knew what it was. He was like, this is just like how it was in my hometown. And they were like, oh shit. Levi said, me and mom, we out. He's like, oh, the Ackermans. He said, Ackermans and shifters, we out of here. So he was like, we gotta go.
No boy, bring your ass now.
He said, we got to go. Because she about to go down.
So with Attack on Titan, the manga over, right? And anime technically, I mean, I think next season to be animated better than this season. You know, I don't really.
Yo, it's gotta be.
If they can match this shit, bro, AOT will be number one.
I personally don't have a problem with the animation for the season. There's only one part. There's only one part I have a problem with. There's only one part.
CGI.
No, not even the CGI. No. It's no, by one part I mean like a few scenes. It's the scenes where we see Gabi, Falco, and the two other people. I don't remember their names. I'm not bored anymore. The two other kids, and like when Raina walks up to them, and they're on a dock, and the background is just people standing there. It's CGI people just standing in the background.
Yeah,
that was horrible to me. It was one of the worst scenes. I think this is one of the worst scenes I've ever seen. I think in anime period, where it just felt like it felt like they were on a different plane of existence. Like it, it was like they were in the foreground and everything behind them was like a different anime, and like nobody was moving and they're just standing still. And I was just like,
I will say this: I wish Wit Studios would animate this last half of Attack on Titan because the drawing style is so like mind blowing. It pops off like the pages to where I feel like Wit's animation would have just done it so well. Not to try and like bash Mappa, but it's like I really would have liked to see that art style animating that.
The second half, the second half of the show was personally, I think it was animated a little better than the first half. I think the first half has a lot more issues than the second half. But yeah, overall,
that's why I hope we get like the Dorohedoro level animation towards the end. Towards the end with like the background stuff.
The background
stuff. Yeah. That's what I meant. But with the animation, I want them to change it because
the Titans is definitely gonna be hella CGI.
The Titans were so beautiful.
That Rumble is gonna be crazy.
I mean, because I felt like as we got to the second half, the most apparent CGI that I can remember from the second half is the Beast Titan when he's fighting Levi. That was the worst part when they got the second half.
Yeah.
But besides that, it wasn't as bad. But once they get all
and even Eren's time form got a little better animated toward like throughout. You kind of see get a little more like
when they're fighting.
Meteor.
When they're fighting, it's not bad. It's when they're like fucking standing around where you're just like this looks awkward as fuck. But besides that, like when they're fighting, I don't have a problem with it. And since they say, "Hey man, one day we gonna talk about which studio is better than Mappa," bro, that's obviously that's obvious.
Are y'all watching Vivi right now? because
you know I don't watch seasonal anime till episode 6. You know.
Okay, so it's this beautiful anime. Like I remember I was going through all the trailers for this season. I saw that the animation for this studio was beautiful. Like the characters were great. Just the sound design, everything was great. And I think Wit also animates that anime. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Like Wit Studios never misses. Like it's such a pretty anime.
Yeah, they definitely did. It wasn't in their bag when I'm picking what was the show? What's the anime that came out with Thorfinn?
Oh yeah, Vinland Saga. Yes.
Vinland Saga. Yeah, they were in their bag with that.
They were.
The snow? I mean, we talking about Mappa. I'm sorry, which studio? Have they ever missed? Do they know what a miss is? I think animation wise, like when I was talking about listeners, they had the same thing with the CGI mechs, which I hated. It was garbage.
Yeah.
It was
garbage. The mechs were
atrocious. Everything else was fine. Like character design, everything else was fine. But when it got into the mechs, got into like the actual fighting portions and everything like that, I'm like, this is some shit.
Yeah, it was definitely stiff, and it definitely wasn't.
They did Great Pretender. They did Ancient Manga's
Bride.
They did
Ancient Manga's Bride is beautiful as fuck. Oh my gosh. Ancient Manga's Bride is amazing. Oh Lord. Ugh. I don't think Wit Studios.
It's on my list.
I don't think Wit Studios ever miss. I don't think they know what a miss means.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they know what it means to miss. I think that's like that's not even in the dictionary. They don't even know what that word means. But with that, we kind of talk about everything. Oh no, we gotta talk about. I'm gonna say, where y'all ranking? I'm gonna say manga first. Where y'all ranking? Manga for Attack on Titan.
Oh.
Where y'all
Definitely
ranking?
top 5 for me.
Oh
Top
yeah.
five.
Top
Definitely
5.
Top five, yo. All right, so top 5. I think Mappa portrayed the darker tone of AOT better than Wit with the new art style. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think the shade, a lot of the shading they did with some of the moments. I think that really portrayed the facial parts
Season
better.
3, part 2.
No, I think that was still Wit. I think Mappa came into season 4.
We're only done season 4.
But
Sensei said 10 out of 10.
Say that. I thought season 3, part 2 was very well done. I don't know if I could say that they did better.
I don't think they did better than that. No, but I think. Go ahead, Spicy. Go ahead.
I just want to say that I love how in Attack on Titan, whenever like shit goes down, they play hip hop music in the background because that's what they did with this season and in the last season, and I love that because it's like, shit goes down.
No shit about to get fucked up.
Sensei gave it a 10 out of 10. He says the top 1 short anime of all time. I still don't consider it a short anime, but.
Oh yeah, Sensei, you missed it. Aaron was out here saying it wasn't short.
I don't think it's a short anime.
It's
Anything got
but just because it's seasonal. Okay.
I just don't think it's 100 is short. I think of something that's short is something that I can finish in a week's time leisurely. For the most part.
I mean, you can do it if you really try.
If you really try, if you really try. I don't gotta try.
Of course, it's a lot. I don't
gotta try to finish a 24-episode anime.
Well, that's like a mini series. If anything,
that's not a mini series.
Mini series, 24 episodes. That's short. Go think about most series.
There's more. There's more.
If you have one season, that's like a mini series.
There's probably more anime with 24 or less episodes than ones with more. Because a lot of anime gets canceled. A lot of anime only survives one season.
That is true.
So there's probably more with 24.
And that's what.
So the ones with 100 plus, 100 or plus is necessarily long, because on average, more than likely, your anime is not going to make it past 50.
But I always don't like storytelling. Honestly, if the story is good, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep being produced. But if the story is trash, it's going to fall off.
Okay, but still.
Kenichi
strong. That's
great story that got canceled.
I might have to get into the manga for that one because I enjoyed that one. That was a short story.
Kenichi's on fire. They need to redo that. I don't know what they need.
I need it to continue.
That was a part-timer. That was coming back.
That was coming back.
Yeah, season 2.
So happy. That was a good short series, and I'm like, I want more, and it was like, psych.
Yeah, especially with that end scene when he's fighting, he just starts turning the fuck.
The fight scenes were so good in that anime for no reason. I'm like, gosh,
bro. I need more of Kenichi's Strongest Disciple.
Oh, Kenichi! Oh, that's my anime. I love Kenichi's Strongest Disciple.
Yeah, that is.
That's what we were talking about. What did you say?
Anime I
got you just said Kenichi. What were you talking about?
I don't know. I didn't get what y'all were talking about. I just heard Kenichi. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then when he finished, I was like, oh yes, that was.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the Strongest Disciple out here.
That's my.
I need them to finish that. I need them to finish it.
How many pages?
Let me
How
ask you a question though.
How many pages per average are like in a chapter of Attack on Titan?
Oh, like 20?
I want to say 50. Wait, no, because
maybe long. Maybe talking.
It's monthly.
Maybe long.
It's monthly, so that's about 50.
The monthly, yeah. So it's at least like 40 to 50.
But they're such easy reads though. Like,
well, I'm not
because the way he does it, like
easy. You can definitely blow.
Yeah, because he's spacing out the panels well, so it's not like it's not always like just strictly dialogue. He have like different pages, and he panels it out so easily.
Yeah.
It's like you're reading as a story progressing along.
I'm trying to like do the conversions in my head because Sensei, he said that you could read it all in a week, and I'm trying to like think.
Oh, that's what I did.
That's
what I did.
I
read it
because I'm trying to think of it like a comic book. Like how many like a chapter for a comic book is what, like 15 pages usually? Maybe short as hell.
To catch up from where season 4 left off, for me personally, it took like 2 days.
Oh yeah.
It did not take long. It was very easy.
Yeah, no.
It's like what?
Yeah, I'm gonna reread the actual whole entire series, so I'm gonna let you know how long it takes me to read it. I'm gonna try to be diligent and just consistent because I want to quickly start reading and fall off, and get back on and fall off. Yeah, so like I'm still watching anime I watched from a long time ago, still going back watching one episode every 2 years.
No, I feel that.
Feel like that, son.
You gotta remember, man.
I'll be forgetting, like, oh shit, forgot I was watching this. That's like I was watching.
So when Attack on Titan ends, when the anime ends, where y'all think the anime gonna land up? On top number 1, okay.
Top 3.
It's gonna be 1.
Top 3.
Yeah,
until One Piece ends, it's gonna be 1.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be up there in the top 5 for me too, cause that's story, visuals, overall, just it was fire.
Yeah.
And if they do this last season right, if they do this last season properly,
if they do everything that's about to happen right, it's 1. I just need them to do Han's scene right now. I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, for real. Just her going out the way she
just looking at the
I need him to do the step. I need him to do the step on the people properly, bro. I need to see.
Yes, please.
I need it to be squished into a pulp, and then it's just popped.
Yes.
No, because that shit, bro, it had the imprints, and they were real.
Yes, the imprints. The imprints.
Bro, no, you know what was blowing my mind? It was the cliff scene when they were all on the cliff and they was walking. I'm just like, just falling, bro. Because
they were like,
remember
they were like, oh, let's go over here. They're like, nah, they over there too.
Oh my god,
there's nowhere to go.
Everywhere. It was like, okay, let's go this side. Nah, they right there.
Niggas just coming over the mountains and shit. Just
people were like falling off because they're like,
how did you do that? How did you do that?
Eren said, all of us roll out.
Imagine, yo.
You know what I wish they did though in the manga. I wish they given a better time frame how things were going out. Like I want to see how long it took. I want to see how long it took for the actual rumbling to take place, for them to get to 80% of the world.
Yeah,
how long that take?
That took.
Yeah,
so they were doing a lot.
It didn't take long for what we saw.
A timer, like every page had a timer, like when everything.
Like 24.
Yeah, like a little countdown.
Yeah, 24, 60%. 28 minutes.
Fucking
Eren just on the time.
That's fucking like Mob Psycho 100. Like every time,
yeah.
Up a little
I need the countdown because I want to know how long. Like how? Because they were just walking this entire time. And when you think about it, a lot of travel.
You could do the math. I mean, they colossal, so I mean, you know, what I mean, they take one step. That's about 400 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on top of that,
we can do the conversion.
And then they were riding horses on top of that too. They were riding horses. So trying to take them to ride horses to catch up to them. They were not catching up. It was taking days.
Remember when they went to that lady's port with because they had the boat thing ship. They're like, we gotta get over there because that's the first on the rumbling. So that's like they had to get there, and then that's when Han had the thing, and they're like, we gotta go because they coming, bro. Like,
they coming. But
that's why that's why I love the beginning of the anime because you see how destructive Eren was at the Colossal Titan. Imagine 50 of them niggas, and we saw that a rumbling.
50.
So that's why I liked how that duality with him and Eren being the ones to fight each other, because it's like that's how much destruction this man could have. But he was like,
it was crazy seeing like the rumbling start because season 2,
you
see, or season 1
when they started walking,
where you see the Titans in the wall, you're just like, what the fuck are they doing there?
Bro, no, when Eren's face when he got up on the Titan. He was charging in. I was like, oh shit, bro.
He had a little devil smile.
Yes, he was ready. Yeah. Everyone was like, what is that? And then the chaos, they're like, what is that? And Eren was like, we on. Y'all deal with that shit.
We moving.
Somebody said Eren. Somebody said Eren has the highest body count out of any main character of manga.
No cap.
Oh, that's right. My man's a mass murderer.
No cap.
He's a mass murderer on an epic scale, planetary scale.
I'm trying to think.
Wait,
Well, Griffith? How about you think Griffith?
As a main character.
Freaking Guts could
Guts
have
was
hella bodies probably.
I think Guts have. Well,
You probably the closest one though. Guts ain't wiping.
I don't know about 80% of the human race though. 80%, 80% of the human race.
80.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
But we don't know how many people is in the world though, because we only saw two islands. We only saw Marley and Paradise.
But Marley's not an island though. Marley's not.
No. It was
Marley's a nation.
Yeah, because when they showed the black people too over there, like he was killing the whole world.
He
like
was
killing everyone. Because Marley Empire was huge.
He was killing the white.
Yeah, like he wasn't playing.
Marley was conquered. It was just conquering people, and they was complaining that they were
walking their asses off.
Like, why are they fighting back? We already beat everybody else.
That's why he killed all the generals in the beginning, because he was like, y'all niggas with no leaders, y'all can't lead nothing. And now I'm gonna kill all the people.
My man rolled in them bodies. He landed on them and started rolling around. That man said,
he said, who's the general? You? I bet. He went right to the general section.
He started rolling on them niggas.
And my man, he just.
That man was on some WWE.
Like, ooh,
no, literally.
His body slammed on them.
Like,
God. He's trying to get. He's trying to get all y'all. Don't run away. Come back.
You would think he would do some sophisticated ass shit. Nah, he just did it.
I just love how
I got the people's elbow.
But I love how he was just chilling. He was like, nah, Rainer, listen, we gonna wait for the grant. We gonna wait till I get introduced. Let's just chill. Let's just chill enjoy the show. Rainer was like, shit.
Right. Rainer was like, I continue talking, and Falco was like, wait, this is Eren. And Rainer was him like, you need to back up. Rainer's like, you need to back up. You need to back up.
But I love because Falco looked up to Reiner, so seeing Reiner like freaked out. He was like, "Why is he
freaking out?"
He was like, 4 years ago, you're on the island for you. Like, oh shit.
What was Eren's? The connections came, and he was like, "Wow."
What was Eren's fake name that he had?
He didn't have. I don't.
He didn't have a fake name.
I don't think he had it.
I don't remember.
He kept saying it.
I don't know. I forgot.
I think it was Mr. Jaeger or something. I feel like he just used
it was something. I forget if he had a fake name. I forget. I don't remember.
He had some name, and Falco introduced him. He's
really
like,
Falco
he's like, how do you know such and such? He said whatever it was.
Wait, how do you know? Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. He did have a name. I don't remember what it is.
I made a tweet about it. It was pretty funny. I'm not even gonna lie.
He said, how do you know him? That's my friend. That's my friend. And Reiner's like, your friend.
Falco, don't you understand?
But
it's
looking back now and because we remember when they were like, "Where's Reiner and Falco?" And they're like, "Yeah, Cougar," and they're like, "Oh, they went out somewhere." And Zeke was like, "We got time. Go ahead." Like Zeke, Zeke was like, "Yeah, go ahead. We got time." I was like, Zeke.
Yo,
come on.
Speaking of Cougar, you know that one scene when Eren met his grandfather?
Oh yeah,
that shit was so fucking touching. I'm like, damn, bro, the connections, the levels of parallels that
no cap,
bro. That scene, man, I was like,
going
insane.
But was he fully insane? No, because he was like, leave that boy alone. I don't know what you're doing, but you doing something you're supposed to do. And Eren was like,
yeah.
And he was like,
but the thing is, my thing is, how is he still practicing medicine? How is this man still a doctor?
Yeah,
he's
saving
people. He's patient. He's a doctor, but probably no more.
He a patient and a doctor. He both of them business.
That's
both of them niggas. At least I'm double doo-doo.
Like, he's gonna be good by 7. We kind of need him.
All right.
But Eren is the best actor. I love how he just like pretending to be a.
Bro, when he fake fails, like
bro, it was so late. It was so delayed, bro. He was like the first. He was the last one to fall. Like, come on, Eren. He said, "Oh no, I hope I don't fall."
Life alert! I'm falling.
Oh no!
I fall and I can't get up.
Oh shit! All right. Well,
help me.
Well, for me, I think Attack on Titan's been top 5 for me since like first season.
Yeah.
So it's always been top 5 for me. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it yet, but so far, I gotta wait till I see the ending. Because I'm not gonna read it. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna read it. So.
Read it, bro.
You gonna wait a whole year, Eren. You gonna wait a whole year.
I am. And I'm gonna watch about 75 anime within that year. Y'all know I will.
If Mike is reading, then you come on.
Don't
Mike out here reading now.
Don't throw so much Mike to read.
Especially,
I might pick up a physical or two, but that's all y'all getting out of me. I still gotta finish Tokyo Ghoul. I've
Bro,
been
it
slowly
was
buying
funny.
those physicals.
Whatever.
Cause what's his name? Porco was like when we was all bidding on Porco, talking about Eren turning into a nutcracker. It's like he heard our tweet because he literally said, "I'm gonna get you back for turning me into a nutcracker." It's like he heard. It's like with Paul George when he was shooting like 0 for 35, and we started calling him Pandemic P, and he heard it. Like it's like Porco heard
Pandemic
us.
P.
It's like Porco heard us. He
Yeah.
heard the Twitter fingers.
All right, but let's start wrapping up. What's y'all last words? What's the last things I gotta say? Don't gotta be about Attack on Titan. Y'all can slander something else. You know what I'm saying? What's your last words for the pod for the day? Who got the first one?
Last words.
Hey. When Part 6 come out, y'all not ready for this. Y'all not ready for Part 6. Jolene, best JoJo. I love her.
Yeah.
Y'all not ready for Jolene. I've been waiting for this moment. And I knew it. I called all the marketing. I was like, they're going to make Part 6. They said I was crazy. I said the marketing don't make sense. They restocked all the JoJo merch. They're doing too much for them not
when they didn't immediately say when they immediately didn't say that 5-4 season 3 was coming out, I was like, God damn, fucking JoJo's.
Wait, so it's no season 3?
I said fucking JoJo's.
Damn,
it's David Pro because David Pro
Productions.
does,
they do JoJo's.
So when they didn't release season 3, when they didn't say season 3 was getting animated, I was like, fucking JoJo.
They said, hold on.
They got some better to do.
We got a go coming through. We got a go coming through. Can I get out?
No, they said hold on, the check cleared. They said hold on, the check just cleared. We gotta do this first. 1 second.
Literally.
That's why.
I do not want to have to leave.
I'm so excited. Hello, Jolene.
I guess my final thoughts would be read One Piece and read Attack on Titan.
Facts. Final words, man.
Those are two. Those two are golden in my book. Those are top 2, honestly. But I'm waiting to see how other things finish off first, because there's some heat up. There's some heat manga out there. But right now, Attack on Titan and One Piece. Yeah, read those two. And My Hero Academia.
When One Piece ends, it's going to take that number 1 spot.
Roof Piece? Yeah.
It's going to take that number 1 spot.
Piece right now is hot. What? You think so?
One Piece? Hell yeah. When it ends, it's going to take that number 1 spot.
Oh, yeah. One Piece is number 1 right now. And that's not even close to ending. It's got like a couple more years, and when it ends...
Yeah, we got at least 500 more episodes.
No, we got 1,000 more episodes. We have at least 1,000 more episodes.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of episodes to go, but I'm talking about the manga, though. The manga's probably like
manga's probably going to end in about 8 years. But the anime is not going to end for probably about another 15.
I'd say 5, probably. 5 years.
No, he said, so he said...
The way he's moving right now?
He said about a year ago that he had 5 more years left of story. So it's either going to end in 2025 or probably like 2026. If he follows his own timetable that he set for himself.
I feel like he is, because he's moving up a lot, and like he's bringing back a lot of themes and explaining a lot of things now in this one arc. That's like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Like he's connecting the dots and bringing all the pieces. Like shit from Skypiea, it's starting to come back into play now, bro. So
facts, because we saw when we first see Kaido, is when he freaking was drunk as shit and he fell from the damn sky.
Fell from the sky. My nigga was trying to be like, but what was he doing up there? Bro, no, was he though? Was he up there for another reason? He just fell off because he was too drunk.
Oh, shit, Goda.
I don't know. Goda, bro. His writing is immaculate.
All right, Evan, what you got for your last words?
Man, everybody just remember, no matter how much anime comes out, Case Closed is the greatest thing we've ever seen.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say fucking Case Closed. That was in my head the whole time. I was like, this nigga gonna say something. Case Closed shit. I knew it.
I can never go out without mentioning Case Closed, man. Hanj is a gangster, bruh. Hanj has my respect forever. And Attack on Titan, out of all the characters, she got my respect forever.
Her and the generals, they went out like G's too. But Hanj, she went out.
Yeah, they definitely did.
That if I could have that one panel of her
Blxxk went out,
all
bro?
the Titans, I would get that on a poster.
Blxxk
That was like the
said,
greatest thing I ever seen.
Everyone who drunk that one, come hang out with me.
Legit, because he knew what it was. He knew what it was. Come on, we out here. We going on the front lines. We're gonna help him out.
Yes, he said we're gonna chill away from.
Funny as shit though. Like
Oh,
when he was in his little
Dixon.
Like,
He's not caught up on Case Closed. He just loves Case Closed from what he's watched. He's not caught up though.
From season 1 through 6 and all.
I've read Chainsaw Man.
Case Closed has more episodes than One Piece. Case Closed has more episodes and movies than One Piece.
That's true.
I've never heard of Case Closed, but I'm gonna get
it. Season 1 through 6. 1 through 6 is the most goated shit I've ever seen. It's the only anime that could have filler, and that shit will be 10 out of 10.
Oh my god!
You won't care.
Case Closed. I think is at like it's at 1,000. No, it's not 1,000 episodes. What is it at?
Yeah, it's at 1,000.
It is right. Yeah, it's at 1,000 episodes and 15 movies.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of movies.
Wow, that's a lot.
Each and every one of them movies are 10 out of 10.
See, he's capping. He's capping.
I'm not capping. You want to see for yourself.
You love it, bro. I've watched 3 episodes of Case Closed. Just 3.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
So I'm just going. So real quick, Dixon asks, is anybody reading Chainsaw Man? It's on.
I've read it.
I just started. That shit was fire.
I read it. That shit is fire.
It is
yesterday. Yep. That shit is fire. That first chapter was like that.
The first few chapters, I'm like, okay, this is nice, but I stopped because I have to get Demon Slayer off my list. I have to get Demon Slayer off.
You know what else is good? Undead Unluck. That's another good one right there.
Yeah, that's what I heard
about that.
That's fire.
That and
I started reading it. I'm taking my slow time because it's only like 60 chapters now. So I'm like reading like 5 chapters like every couple weeks because I don't want to spoil myself and binge it all out because I hate doing that week-to-week shit, bro. That week-to-week is a dub.
No, that shit is ass. I do that with My Hero, bro. That shit is ass.
Dub. I wait for a couple of chapters, like at least 3 or 4 chapters before I read My Hero again, because I just like reading progressive. It's like, okay, the nicer storyline progressive, but like week-to-week, it's like that cliffhanger, waiting. Yeah, and then getting spoiled on timeline. No, I'm okay.
It's not the
move. Well, Attack on Titan, like it'll be trending for a good like 2 months in advance because hella spoiled.
Niggas be fiending with the anime. Niggas be fiending. They getting these VPNs and shit, getting the episode like 3 hours early. I'm like, yo,
no, I mean the chapters would be like 2 months like ahead, like leaked 2 months ahead, and it'll be trending like ALT chapter 139. I'm like, why is it why is it still trending?
You know this?
Bro, I don't even know how niggas getting
Did you rob Isayama?
Nigga was in the man's house and I got the official scans. I got it. I read it.
They held a gun.
I'm recording him from his bathroom window while he's doing it. I'm just right here.
No, but for real.
Got the thing under the door, just like I see him doing it right now. It's zoom in.
Yo.
And it's funny because like I like there's this video of like his interview where they're like showing him drawing like the last chapters, and he's just like sleeping and like just not caring like that he's causing everyone trauma. He's just like, plays Nintendo Switch.
That's what it is. You know, y'all gonna have PTSD from this. But
this man's on vacation right now. He is living his best life. He do not care.
He better be on
I hope he signed. I hope he signed a good contract.
Yeah.
I hope he signed a good contract.
I just seen the funniest AOT meme. This is such a coincidence too. Oh
wait,
my Lord.
Wait, I saw one. It was Reiner. He was like, "I'm sick of messing with you, Eren. You're toxic." He was like, "You don't F with me no more. I'm gonna kill myself." I'm gonna kill myself. I was like, "Yo, I can't."
But my last words first. I want to tell Steve, you're late. That's on you, bro. Scuba Steve, that's on you.
Oh, Steve here?
Why are you late, man?
That man's late. He don't do anything. He late. Like, what was you?
He said, "Oh no, I'm late." What were you doing this whole time?
Like, unless you was with your kids, you don't got. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah, I thought people being caught up case closed was a myth.
It is a myth.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this anime, so I didn't know.
Case Closed is huge in Japan. Case Closed is huge.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of merch out there for that. Yeah,
they recognize the goatness. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Anyway, my last words are watch Attack on Titan. I don't have anything to slander. I hate I don't have anything to slander. I need y'all to get. Nobody on any Twitter has given me anything to slander lately. Anything superhero wise come out? Watch Invincible.
Oh, watch Invincible.
Watch Invincible.
Just watch Invincible, please.
I'm about to start reading that soon.
Me too.
I need to know what the fuck is going on with that.
There's some
like 3
theories.
There's like 3 omnibuses. I'm about to pick that up.
Someone said, who would win a fight, Omni-Man or All Might? I said Omni-Man is whooping All Might's ass in Endeavor.
Yeah.
He's whooping all their asses. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Omni-Man is looking like OP as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
hide in plain sight.
But yeah, that's all I can think of for last words. So thank y'all for watching and for the people who came on time. You know what I mean? I especially thank.
Oh wait.
What was up?
Eren, I just realized who you look like.
Oh.
I'm ending the stream. Peace out, G's. Thank y'all for being on the pod. I'm ending the stream. Peace out.
Wow, you don't want to hear though.
You get it.